Hi, and welcome to Sci-Fi Vision for our first show for Yellowjackets. I'm Jamie, and I'm here with Scarlett. Hello, Scarlett.
Hello, Jeannie.
We appreciate you guys that showed up. I know we were just talking, I know there's another Yellowjacket stream currently, so maybe we can, I don't know, we're going to talk about, see if we can figure out a time or something that maybe works a little bit better so we're not overlapping everybody. But if you showed up, thank you. And if you're here after the live, we still appreciate it, even if it's not live. But all right, so tonight we have two episodes. I'm getting up my pictures as I'm talking to you. Two episodes of Yellowjackets that we'll try to get through both of them. We're gonna try to be done sometime around 1:30, maybe 2, something like that, I guess. We'll see how it goes, and hopefully we will be wrapped up by then. Let me share my screen here. All right. Sorry about that. There we go. All right. So let me get this open. All right. So if you want, we also can do, I was going to say, we also can, why is it giving me a little error? All right. I'm not sure what that's about. There's an error in the chat.
Great.
No, I think it's trying to record it for some reason separate from the stream. I'm not sure why. But anyway, if you guys,
oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, if people do want to call in, we can, in a while, we can put on,
cool.
Open up the call-ins, but maybe get a little bit further first. So let's start by talking about this scene. I'm assuming
let's start with talking about this video scroll first, please.
The video scroll.
Yeah, are you a fan of the video scroll in the beginning? The Showtime Presents that looks like an old videotape.
Oh, I mean, it didn't really bother me, but it kind of. I mean, they have a lot of old videotape things in the opening, so it didn't really bother me, but I didn't really think about it, to be honest.
Because last year was kind of confusing because they kind of used one that was similar and then used it like towards like Ben's descent into madness in the second season. But then they started using it with Ty, and it got confusing because I associated it with Ben, and then they were using the same effect with Ty, and I was like, okay, is this just an effect that's going to go all the way through the series? It was very confusing.
Yeah, because I remember you told me that before. When it was with them and their mind kind of descending like that, it made sense. But since they're putting it on other things, it makes it really confusing. I agree. I think they need to.
Well, it was kind of dark Ty, though, too, when she was looking in the mirror and she was drinking all the coffee and just hopping around the room.
So maybe it just kind of represents them breaking down, I guess, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, this opening is very reminiscent, obviously, of the pilot and the whole thing with the girl running, which may or may not be Marie. We don't really know, but I think a lot of people after this episode are theorizing that she is Pit Girl after this. But
the original OG Pit Girl.
Yeah, the original. Well, because there's a Pit and she's a girl in this one, so I don't know if you count that or not.
She fell in the pit.
Yeah, but she's being chased, so we're not sure at first what's happening. And there they have a split screen.
Yeah.
And by the way, stop me if you want to. By the way, but
yeah, how do you like the split screen effect? There was 2 of these in this episode. Do you have a good opinion on them? You like them? You don't like them?
I mean, it only lasted a couple seconds. I was kind of like surprised and wondered why it was there, to be honest, just because it was all of a sudden and didn't really.
I felt like it was just a choice.
Yeah, like I don't really feel it did anything to it, so it was more just I'm not. Yeah, like you said, a choice. I think it
was a choice.
It's an artistic choice. But she's running, and Shauna tackles her, and you're still not sure what's going on, and then she goes to bite her hand.
So I have a question for you here too.
Okay.
What did you think that Mari had in her hands?
I honestly wasn't sure. I didn't know what to think was going on at this point. I figured maybe food of some kind that she had stolen. I don't know. I really wasn't sure. What did you think was going on at the beginning?
At first, I thought it might have been Jackie's necklace.
Oh,
because I thought it would be one of the only things that Shauna would tackle Mari about because it's important to her.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But then Nat's wearing it later on. So
yeah, so it can't be right. Did you see
yeah.
it?
But
Yeah.
I thought it was. I thought, oh my God, she took the necklace.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure why she would, other than if it was to piss Shauna off, and she's trying to do that a lot in this episode. So I
Yeah.
guess it would be. It would be
Shauna's the worst, though.
Yeah, I like future Shauna or present Shauna, whatever you want to say, but the teen Shauna, I don't love in these two episodes. She's just mean. I mean, I get it, and I understand why, but she's just being really mean.
She's kind of bullying.
Yeah, she's definitely bullying. But you find out after she bites her, like that's really mean that she bites her. Like she's that into playing this game. That's a great shot, though. She's like
when they had the stills, we were thinking that she was trying to take a little gnaw on her, like for a snacky. Like she's just hungry.
Yeah, maybe she's no. That's a really good shot, though. But yeah, I think it just shows that Shauna's. Yeah, she's losing it. The fact, I mean, all they're doing is playing a game, and she's taking it that seriously. Am I not remembering something that Marie did to piss her off before this, or is it just everything this episode, I guess, culminated in it? Because
I have theories about this.
You do? Okay, what's your
because of the first season, Mari, and like a lot of times when Shauna would distance herself from Jackie because she was probably afraid to tell her about the pregnancy, Jackie would hang out with Mari. And even to the point she said, oh, when we get back, we'll have lockers next to each other, which I guess the finals were like in May or something. They probably had a little bit more time with school. And she was like acting like Mari was her good friend or almost a replacement Shauna.
So she was jealous. That makes sense. I'm trying to.
And plus she's pretty. She's pretty. And that's always like upsets girls.
Yeah, that's true. That's the thing too, is Jackie was very I mean, she was controlling. She wasn't really a good friend, but Shauna thought she was, I guess, at that time. But
and I mean, plus they got along with her. They went to her birthday party. They seem closer to her than other people on the JV squad. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, it's true. But I was just going to say, like, if Shauna stopped following Jackie around and doing everything she wanted, then I could see Jackie kind of, moving to somebody else. But you find out after here that they're playing a game, obviously, Capture the Bone. That shot, because Van totally is like, we did it. They fell for it. So
it sounds suggestive. Capture the Bone.
Yeah, it does. But well, they're all girls. But yeah, so they were distracted, and Jen here was Jen? Yeah, Jen.
Yeah.
Jen was able to grab it, so they won, and Shauna's clearly not happy when they're doing their little dance.
Yeah, I got kind of confused because when Mari was by the tree, Jen and another person were like, where is she? Is it somebody on our team or something? It made me feel like they were chasing her, but then Jen's on their team, so it's kind of confusing.
Yeah, well, then you thought maybe it was a game, but you weren't 100% sure. And I guess it's like Capture the Flag. Why they decided on Capture the Bone is beyond me.
Because it's more suggestive.
Well, yeah, but I kind of agree with Van. They need to rework the name. I wrote down all the songs in this one. This has Maxwell Murder by Rancid during this song. I think they all fit really well. I'd like to go back and read lyrics of everything. I haven't done that. At some point I might, but so yeah, their team won because of what she did, and that's kind of interesting. They all stand in that circle because it looks like some kind of sacrificial circle, doesn't it? And I'm guessing it's just for the team, but it kind of looks like it.
Yeah, there's something in the credits that looks like that at the end of the credits where they're dancing around a fire, and it's kind of similar.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about the credits, and I think unless you want to stop and do the credits, we may not make it till the end before.
I think we should couple. I think we should couple them up with episode 3 because it makes more sense.
Because there'll be less to do. But I wanted to ask you though. We won't go into them, but they don't change them every episode, just every season, right?
Every season, yeah.
Okay, because there was a bunch of, for people who don't know, who are asking why I'm asking, I just came into Yellowjackets very recently because Scarlett talked me into watching it. But there's there are a lot. When I was going through doing the screen captures for the opening, there are actually a lot of scenes in there that are from these first 2 episodes. Most of them are things that tell you absolutely nothing, and they're not really important, but they are a lot from the episode. So yeah, that was interesting. I don't know, like I said, I don't know that they tell you anything. It wasn't really suggestive, but yeah, well, we'll talk specifically about that when we get to next week and we have more time.
Yeah, but the other opening credits were interesting because you saw like human Caligula in the beginning. It was like season 2, and you're like, okay, what is this human parrot? And then like in season 1, they had like an actual clip of Juliette Lewis chasing after the Jeff. You know, that scene where he gets stuck in the glitter and everything. They had stuff from that, so people were,
so some of them are important, but maybe not all of it. But there's a lot of things that are important, but aren't, like we have already seen. Like there's stuff of Ben and his pit, and which could still be suggestive, I guess, if it's trying to hint at. Let's see. Yeah, we'll kind of. I don't know if you want to go to how you want to do the chat. If you want to go to them as we get to them, or if you want to wait until we get closer to the parts in order, or it's kind of up to you too. I don't care which way we do it, but sometimes we get so far off track. That's why I'm like,
I don't know. Your choice. I mean, do you want to do a question? Do you want to say hi to everybody? You can say hi to everybody.
Yeah, hi everybody. Sorry, we're we're rushing around today, but thank you again for coming, everybody. And please do take a minute, like and subscribe. I always forget to mention that, but do that, and make sure that you join the Discord, which I put the link in the chat, because we do have watch parties beforehand, so we can rewatch right before our stream. We'll take a couple of the questions, and then if we get too far off track, we'll kind of go back. So why did Shauna act so violently against Misty, or to Misty? I'm trying to remember what she did specifically to Misty. I don't think it was in this part of the episode.
I don't remember anything towards Misty. I remember her acting kind of violent towards Mari. Does he mean Mari?
Yeah, I'm wondering if he meant Mari. He might have meant Mari. And that's why you were saying we just went over that. You think it's because of she was friends with Jackie.
Probably misplaced jealousy because Jackie's not around, so she has to take her frustrations out on somebody. And it's the substitute best friend that Jackie had when she was like, Shauna was hiding from her, and
now she doesn't have Jackie, so it just blows up even more.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, and by the way,
I was now she has Melissa.
Yeah, now she has
Which is another Jackie stand-in.
Yeah, and he did mean Maury. Okay.
Yeah.
I was also going to say I put up your poll. Let me see if it shows up on here, so I can tell people. I put it on the page. I had never done a poll before, people, but it's under the post about which meal you guys would prefer to have. So go to the community page and vote on our little silly poll, and because that's funny. I like that you came up with that. And
I was going to have you put it right in the YouTube.
I don't know how you put it. How do you put it? Do you mean like a link, or do you mean?
No, you can pin it at the top. The screen. You can pin it on top of the chat.
You can. Okay, that tells how much I know. Well,
okay. Well, I'll talk.
I don't know how to pin it on the top of the chat, so.
Me and Julie have done it on the Severance one, so I'll ask her how she did it, because we just figured out how to do it.
I'm still learning this stuff. I'll put the community link though up. People can at least go vote for that there, and then at the end, if people have voted, we'll tell people thought. So Justin also wants to know who's our favorite character. I've said before, I think like in the future, I like Shauna a lot. I'd say future Shauna is probably my favorite.
I might have to take one teen and one adult.
Yeah, I'm trying to think out of the teens. I've told you before, I don't love the teen story as much as I like the adult story. I more like what's going on in the present. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe Misty, just because she's so crazy. I guess that would be one of mine. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, the teen one or the adult Misty?
Both. Who would you pick?
Both? Because I was going to go teen van, adult, MFQ, as they say. So, yeah. I mean, just the tax scene in the bar. I mean, like, Christina Ricci eats up any scene that she's in.
Yeah, she does. Although, like I said, I think the girl that plays younger Misty is really good too. All right, I'm getting that up so I have
I
her
like
name.
Lottie. I like adult Lottie.
She's funny too. I like all of them. I don't know. Like I said,
Yeah.
I think my favorite out of all of them is Shauna in the future, because I do like the future storyline a bit better.
When,
And I don't know if I'm the only one that feels like that, but I do enjoy the comedy.
what did you say? Sorry.
No, I said I do still enjoy the comedy of the future storyline.
Oh yeah, I like the comedy too. Well, I was thinking about, because I got some Funko Pops, and the Funko Pops I got were Misty and Lottie, so I'll have to say that those are my favorites, I guess. And I won Shauna in the contest.
Oh, that's cool. I've not seen them advertised. I'll have to go
Yeah,
look for them.
they're all like Doom coming ones. They're all like really cool.
That's cool. Yeah, I'll have to look. I have Pops, but I do not have any Yellowjackets, so that'll have to be my next thing I get. Let's see. Samuel did add that Shauna hit Misty back in season 2. So
Julie
yeah,
just promoted us.
yeah, I know. Hi, Julie.
Wait,
Thanks for
sweet
dropping
Julie.
by.
I know she'll never come in here, but thank you.
I know I was gonna say she doesn't watch Yellowjackets, but thank you for coming in for a second.
I know Yellowjackets gives her trauma, so I not let her do that.
Well, that's okay. Yeah, but she at least came in and said hi, so that was nice.
Yeah.
So Shauna did hit Misty back in season 2. Shauna's getting more violent. I think that's the issue. As things go on, she's getting worse and worse.
Yeah, I did not like that scene in season 2 where she was just beating Lolly to a pulp and nobody was stepping in.
Yeah, I was surprised Lottie let her, but Lottie's Lottie. But somebody else.
I think Lottie wanted to martyr herself when she stopped when she couldn't hear the wilderness anymore. She was like, okay, I'm gonna be meat for you guys.
She thinks she deserved to be beat or whatever. I forgot. Yeah, Misty was humming that, and that was why she flipped out.
That Quee song.
Yeah. Whoop, I lost my pictures here. All right. So we got in the beginning, we got these huts, and we are told there's a book here. There's the title of the book.
Yeah.
Something architecture of the ancient world.
That's convenient.
What? Yeah, I know, that's convenient. They just happen to find books. They probably found books that told them how to cook venison stew and everything else too. But yeah, they got the books.
Oh, I thought maybe a girl brought it, but yeah, the cabin daddy.
It could have been in the cabin. It could have been in the plane, I guess. Yeah, it's okay, Julie. Thanks for at least dropping by. But yeah, it could have been in the cabin. It could have been somebody brought them with them. It could have been and then maybe they brought it on the plane just in case something went wrong. I don't know.
Yeah. I would think if it's any kind of survivalist thing, it'd be attached to the hunter or cabin daddy, as he's called.
Yeah. Yeah, that would make more sense. So this opening, I was just going to say, I have written down, it's Morning Has Broken by Cat Stevens. They started the episode off with kind of this almost lighthearted, happy, well, not, I mean, they're showing grave sites, that may be part of it, but the music is like, there's kind of this happy tone, she's combing her hair. And I don't know if it was just sort of to, balance it against knowing that bad things are going to come again, because I don't know. I just felt like this whole scene was done to be really, like things are going well for them.
It's very beautiful. And it was one of my mom's favorite songs. So I'm just like kind of listening out to the whole, pagan homesteadiness of it and, the glow. And I think I kind of equated to the show From, when they have 96 days without an incident. Here is this time that they're having where nothing's happening. They can just be girls.
Yeah. Yeah. We tend to forget that they are teenagers because we're used to them doing things that maybe aren't normal for teenagers, but it is nice to see them get a chance to chill out. But I don't know. To me, it just kind of juxtaposes all the other stuff and tells me that it's not going to last. Like you said, the 56 days or whatever, it never does last, right?
Yeah. Well, there's another reason for this too.
Okay.
There's a secondary reason. It's to introduce new Jen, who's carrying a pheasant, and these girls in this scene. New Brick, new Robin.
Yeah, some of them I'm like, they seem new to me no matter what because I haven't been watching it that long. But
Hmm. These
they're
girls
all.
are new.
But you're right, they might just be doing it too to introduce them.
Hmm.
Do you mean like they're new actresses? They recast them, or do you mean they're new characters that weren't red shirts before?
They're new characters,
Hmm.
but there's some like a guy that I was telling you about that was in Reddit, tight customer 5970, that made a whole spreadsheet of all the extras. So there's
Yeah.
the same number of extras. They've always been in the background, but they substitute new actresses for them, but they look kind of the same.
So yeah, so they always intended them to be part of the story. They just weren't
Yeah. I mean, there was
enough.
always a group of three girls in season two that were everywhere, and they were even standing outside together in a clump next to the big group of people when the cabin burned. So they've
Oh,
always been around. I always call them the Fates or the Greek chorus because they're
okay.
always hanging out by themselves.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll learn a little bit more about them hopefully this season.
Yeah.
But they're just kind of all having fun. I mean, they seem to be playing telephone with Travis. I mean, at least that's how I took it. I mean, you don't
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
know because we don't hear them, but
And
they're all
Kevin,
just
and he said something funny, and they
yeah,
like,
and then they laugh.
oh,
Yeah.
how we laughed.
Yeah, so they're having a nice time right now. It's spring, they have food, you know, it they got over winter really quickly though. They went from having nothing to suddenly having homes and everything. I kind of would have liked to have seen a little bit
Hmm.
more of how they got to this point. I appreciated that Van has her little previously on Yellowjackets thing
Hmm.
that kind of tell us, but we don't get a whole lot. This is where they're fighting.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna call her Natalie. Her name is not Natalie. Shauna and Mari are still fighting, and she flips her off because she asks her how her hand is,
Can,
and
can I
that.
can I can I go back
Yeah,
a little bit?
sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I wanted to make a note on the winning and losing teams because the winning team was Murray, Jen, Van, Misty, and Akila, and the losers were Shauna, Melissa, Ty, Robin, Britt, and Nat. I didn't know that was going to become like the tribes later on, so I just made a note of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, they were the ones in this episode that become the servers, I guess you could say,
Mhm.
the slaves to them during this solstice
Mhm.
celebration. But they're still definitely fighting, and Nat's
Mhm.
kind of stuck in the middle, trying to
Mhm.
be the group mom pretty much, and she's just like yelling at them. I feel kind of bad for her because she doesn't know what to do.
Yeah,
And
I feel like Murray just uses words mainly, but Sean is the one that just bites and spits.
Shauna's the one that's having issues.
Yeah.
I kind of felt later on whenever she kind of punishes them both that it wasn't exactly fair because Mari really didn't do anything
Mhm.
other than wasn't the nicest.
Mhm.
But
And Shauna
yeah,
lied about spitting in her stew, which is so gross.
yeah, like I think everybody knew Shauna did that. I
Mhm.
mean, let's be honest. I think they probably all knew, but they're like, we don't want to deal with this.
She's the
The one
worst.
thing, yeah, the one thing I want to mention, and this is something silly, but I don't know. I appreciate it because all the time we've talked about in the different shows, even though they're stuck in the same place forever, they always have like their makeup done, their hair done. I appreciate that her hair is growing out, that she has like these super long roots because her
Yeah.
hair isn't blonde. I don't know. It stuck out to me, and I'm like, they actually show somebody and they're not like have perfect hair. So that was kind of cool.
And that's hair's grown out.
Yeah,
Finally.
yeah, that's what I mean. Finally, she's losing her bleached hair. So she wanted Shauna to come to the solstice celebration, and she doesn't want to come at all. And she's kind of snotty to her, and says that she appreciates her. It's like my queen. So yeah, she doesn't
Did
like
we
being told what to do.
do you have any like do you have any pictures of Van's story time?
Yeah, we're not to that
Oh,
yet.
that's it. Okay. I
Yeah,
thought
that's
I thought Misty blew a horn and then they would all
Misty blew a horn. I may not have gotten the picture of the horn, but there she is.
Oh, there she is. There's
Yeah,
our Van.
yep, yep, there she is. So I think that in this, even in the whole episode, just Shauna is sort of going further down into. I don't want to. I mean, she's not. She actually seems sane in part of this
Mhm.
episode. I want to say because she seems to be the only one that's aware.
Mhm.
Well, maybe aware isn't the right word.
Mhm.
The only one that is outright saying we're doing all this stuff. It's not
Mhm.
okay. which they're just like, oh, we're having fun. And she's like, no, we're eating people. This is not cool. But
well, I have 3 comments about that.
down further into the darkness. Go ahead.
I call her Kubrick Shauna because of her stare that she gives at the end of her story.
Yeah,
Shauna's becoming the new Jackie because Jackie was the one that was the voice of reason in season 1 and was saying the exact same things.
Yeah. Although if she keeps biting people and things like that, then I don't know that she's the one of reason. Oh, great. Sorry, I'm digging if you hear me. I'm trying to get Excedrin out. I don't know. Sometimes when I do this, it makes my headache worse.
But I think they're doing it to survive. You know, they're making a mythology up for themselves so they don't end up like just dying like Jackie did.
Yeah,
just
they
giving
have
up and not
way
eating.
to deal with it, even if it's not a good way to deal with it.
Yeah.
And
they're coping.
Mm-hmm. And Shauna's way right now of coping, which is seems to be the more healthy way, is she's writing in her diary.
That's healthier?
Well, it's healthier to write it down than to be, well, I don't know. I guess it depends, because it's not healthy in the sense that she's angry and she's holding it in. And right now they're just having fun. But I mean, if it stops her from thinking it's okay to do the things they're doing, I guess, and not letting her mind go, then maybe it's not a bad thing. Because I don't know, like I get her point of view on this, and I know she clearly doesn't seem to keep it a lot of times, but the idea that, you know, they're doing what they have to do, but that doesn't make them good they're not doing what they should be doing, and it's not okay. And I appreciate hearing that, because most of them just kind of blow it off, you know? So
that's why she's a new Jackie.
That's why she's a new Jackie. So Van welcomes them to the first annual summer solstice festival.
Yeah, I like her poncho she's wearing there.
I do too. There's a better picture of it. They had to have taken time to make all this stuff though. Like they had to. But she's congratulating the winners. And they're still just kind of having fun, but they're also giving us this really quick opening sort of monologue where she tells us a tiny bit about them, but then also that about their crash. And this is when they're having fun, and Shauna's starting saying in the voiceover, this is what we were kind of talking about, but didn't say. Sorry, I got too many pictures in between.
I wrote down handy lesbians.
Yeah, she's saying we've made, well, Shauna first is saying that she hates all of them, because she's saying that, you know, she lost her baby and her friend.
She's the worst.
And she doesn't, and they're talking about sacrifices and miracles. And
she lost her best friend because she didn't go out and get her when she was.
Yeah, that part was kind of her fault. I would agree with that. That's her fault. But Van is talking about miracles and sacrifices, so I get why she's pissed off. She's talking like that. But this is where it's kind of like a really quick, like, we survived hunger, blizzards, the shit bucket. And then they also mention that they survived a raging psychopath because they think that the coach set the cabin on fire, which I still don't buy. But
I think Van set the cabin on fire, and this is just one of the few first evidences I have of Van maybe saying something and covering her own tracks.
Yeah, could
by making, you know, Ben a real scapegoat and a psychopath with her words and her storytelling.
If you think Van did it, though, why do you think Van did it? Like, what is your reasoning? You know this show, for people like who don't know us, you obviously know this show a lot more than I do, because I've seen the first season a total of 1 time, which I will eventually go back and rewatch it. But since I just watched it, I don't know it as well. Why do you think Van would do that?
Because our girl Van is always related to fire. She almost died by fire like 2 times. She's a fiery spirit, redhead. And in the second season, she started a story about the cabin, which Lottie came in and she stopped. And I honestly feel that maybe talking about the cabin building and stuff and everything culminated at the end with maybe somebody burning the cabin down.
Yeah, I know. I think you had said maybe that was in that episode that we didn't get.
And then later in these episodes, when Van's in a restaurant with Ty, adult Ty and Van, she says, "Don't you want to burn this place down to the ground?" And I thought,
Yeah, you
Maybe
mentioned
it
that
was
to me, and
her. Maybe it was her and Dark Tie, and then Ty woke up and didn't know that Dark Tie had helped Van. Because I just have a gut feeling about it.
I I mean, I could see Dark Ty doing it and not knowing it. I could even
Hmm.
see Misty because she's totally insane doing it.
Hmm.
I guess I wonder why, like, that Van wouldn't think through the fact how much that could hurt them not having their shelter.
Hmm.
I would think that she would be smarter than that. But I mean, they are
Hmm.
teenagers. They do dumb
Well,
things. So,
and also it'd be more wilderness, motivated.
yeah.
She would get
Well,
it. She would get the call, like kind of like Lottie did, to be
yeah,
like, "Oh,
maybe
this is
maybe
what I
she's
should do,"
hearing
or a push
hearing
from the hunter, or any other spirits that are around there.
Yeah. Either way, it's not going to be good when winter comes. So whoever did it shouldn't have done it. But I mean,
Yeah.
I mean that's the easy answer there. But I don't think it's Samuel says either Coach Travis or Lottie did it. I
Mm.
think if Coach did it, personally, I think that that's too obvious. That's why I
Mhm.
think he didn't do it. Um, I don't know. I think any of them could have done it, but I definitely think that comment at dinner is
Mhm.
pointing that it might be her, or like you said, her and Ty.
Mhm.
That
And,
definitely.
and plus they like apparently they stoked that fire for 12 days.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They said they worked for 12 days and 12 nights to feed the fire. Well, so I guess that's
Mhm.
how they stayed warm then. I'd assume that because they had nothing then to stay warm,
Yeah.
because this was still when it was winter. So they had their heat because they had the fire. So maybe in the end, I guess it at least helped them.
Mhm.
But it's spring.
And
So
I
yeah.
guess Van's always talking about being like happy that she survives, and that she's so happy to be a survival. I mean, a survivalist, I guess, or survivor.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think, like, I'm not sure why somebody would do that
Hmm.
purposely, in the sense that, like, you would know that that might kill everybody.
And there's also this really creepy shot of her in the trailer from what I think would be 1998 when they get back looking into the fire, and it's on her
Hmm.
eyeballs.
The reflect, yeah, that's true too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I hadn't
might be
thought
your
about
girl. But I mean, I'm up to anybody. I mean, there's so many people it could be.
that. Yeah, Cassie's saying, could it be Shauna? Um, like I said, I think Shauna is descending darker into, I don't want to say madness, because like I said, I don't know that she's
Mhm.
insane, at least not in the sense like
Mhm.
Misty is, in my opinion.
I
But
think it'd be kind of hard
going
for
down that.
Shauna because Shauna was in the attic, and then she was the one that first noticed it. But the
Oh,
whole if you smell it, you dealt it kind of thing could apply.
yeah, you should probably, if she's the one that first noticed it, then I doubt it was her. But it could be.
Yeah.
I mean, for all we know, it could end up being an accident. I
Mhm.
just think the fact that they showed Ben trying to light matches and everything just was
Mhm.
too obvious, in my
Too
opinion.
precious, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Um,
it could be even supernatural things. It could be Javi's friend for all we know. It could be Crystal. Who knows?
uh-huh. I think, because I was going to ask you about that when you talk about that, about supernatural.
Mhm.
I think you kind of fall on the opposite side I do, and maybe I'm wrong. That's why you have to tell me, of this show. Like, I, so far, having seen this, I really don't know that I believe anything supernatural's happened.
Mm.
I think that Lottie saw, the future, but maybe it was a coincidence, because to
Mhm.
me, everything else leads to just mental illness, and the fact that these girls have been through so much that they can be
Mhm.
hallucinating things. Now, I don't know. And I know a lot of people don't agree with that, but
Mhm.
I would like to see more things that could be supernatural.
Mhm.
I don't always get that feeling. Like, I just feel like a lot of it is in their heads, or a lot of it is things that they are doing because
Mhm.
they are so messed up at this point. But I think you kind of feel different, don't you?
I think the magic of the show is that it could be either, like all the time, and I hope that never changes.
That's a good point. It is good when
Because
they kind
because
of correct
sometimes I
it.
think it's science, like in the first season where they were near the like Lottie's River of Blood, and they found out it was kind of had iron
Mm,
in it.
yeah.
I think, ooh, science, and then I see like when Jackie had her death dream and Cabin Daddy was there, and I'm like, well, why would he be there? So I'm gonna go to Supernatural because of that.
Yeah, I wanna see more about him. That would
Yeah, I do
entertain me.
too. I wish
But
he
yeah,
like.
I think it's nice when you can decide for yourself, and I think also
Mhm.
it brings 2 different types of a show, so it lets different people enjoy it. Like
Yeah.
usually I do side with the supernatural. I mean, clearly I like
Mhm.
sci-fi and I'm usually like, oh no, it's this, it's that. But I don't, for whatever reason, I don't
Mhm.
feel that. So I would like to see more
Mhm.
of those moments that would make me question it.
I mean, I had some great feelings. I wanted Shauna's baby to be a Wendigo,
Oh, that would have been cool.
but that didn't
Although I
happen.
don't know, then it may have killed everybody, so it may not have
Yeah.
been. Yeah,
Or
no,
this came
no
it came out
smart. Michael says no smart, no smoke monsters though. You're like,
it would just come out of her body and then jump onto the ground and run into the forest, and they wouldn't see it again. They see it periodically.
yeah, yeah. But that would be interesting for sure. Um, let's see. Cassie says she's on the fence of it being supernatural. I would love it to be though, and that's I guess kind of
Mhm.
where I'm saying like I would like to see it be supernatural, but I'm okay if
Mhm.
it's not. And I think it is nice to be able to kind of discuss whether you think it
Mhm.
is.
There's a
But
lot of happenstances that have to have it happen in order for it to be, just
yeah,
mental illness. There's like a lot
no,
of
there
weird,
is.
like the guy having a heart attack. It's just these weird happenstances.
Yeah. And yeah, you're right. No, there are things that definitely could be. I for whatever reason with this show have been kind of like giving excuses of why I think it's
Mhm.
not. And I'm usually on the other side of that,
Mhm.
which I think is funny, but I'm
That, that
enjoying it,
that's
which
why
is what
that's why it's
matters,
my
right?
favorite show, and it's a very beautiful show because you can have your own opinion, and your opinion's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what's good about watching these shows that you put deep thought into, right?
Hmm.
So anyway, Sean is saying that a bunch of girls, I mean, her idea is a bunch of girls got stranded in the
Yeah.
wilderness and went completely fucking nuts. And that's kind of what I think happened. But in this little monologue, she's saying that they made the huts, which I still don't see how they got supplies to make those huts, but that's like the argument me and Karen always have about gasoline on The Walking Dead and it's and bullets
Hmm.
and stuff. It's like we're just going to move past it because you'll keep
Hmm.
going. You don't want to go down that road.
It's an aesthetic choice.
Yeah,
It looks
yeah. But they
beautiful. It's
somehow were able to create homes for themselves by reading a
Mhm.
book. But we'll just let that slide.
It make a
But
very
yeah.
idyllic community.
Well, to be fair, they have to find them some kind of shelter because if not, they'd
Mhm.
be dead again from winter. So they need something to figure,
I thought they were
plot,
I
plot
thought they were
device.
gonna live in the plane, but the plane isn't close to the lake.
No, that's true. Yeah.
But they
I mean, it
got
was
stuff
kind
out of
of
the
a
plane.
miracle when they found the cabin. That's what sucks. Like that
Yeah.
was the best thing they could have found was, shelter.
Mhm.
Well, and food. I mean, they need food. I guess you can't really
Well, the
say.
plane could be shelter. It's just not close to water.
Okay, I'm looking at what Julie says. To
Mhm.
do a poll on your YouTube tab underneath the chat
Yeah.
button, engage with your audience. You know what? It's because I look at everything on StreamYard is probably why.
Oh,
Engage with
okay.
your audience. Okay, well, let me select the poll I already made. No, it will not. I would have to go through and type it in, and I don't know if you can. You probably can't, but I can't read and type. But
Well,
people do at least go to the link that I put in the chat and tell us. Did you have it written down what you asked? You can read. Why don't you read it? What we want? Oh no, I have it written for me. I found it. This was Scarlett's idea, so you guys need to answer this and let us know. And
thank
I
you,
like,
Julie. By the way, thank
yes,
you.
thank you, Julie. Appreciate you explaining that. Next time I know ahead of time now. But yeah, this was your idea, and I like your Severance reference. Hey kids, what's for dinner? So what are the options? Do you remember what you said? Or do you want me to read?
Venison stew was A, but Shauna's spit is in it.
Yeah, the transfer. And then you
That's
had
A. And then I had Walter's Oopsie Breakfast as
that
one of
was
them.
C. Yeah,
Oh,
you
that
had
was C. What
your
was
D was
B?
foie gras. I can't even say it. Foie gras covered in cotton candy,
Okay, yeah.
and all the tapas was D. So
All the
yeah,
tapas.
there was a lot of good references in this episode. I'll tell you because they had all like was talking about the macaroni, or no, that might have been the second episode, the macaroni and the cheese. I guess some of them were the second one, but yeah, that was great. So thanks for that. We'll can go answer that and tell us what all the tapas. Jason there says all the tapas.
Yeah. But you'll probably just get ceviche.
Yeah, to be fair, I would have been like him because I've never eaten tapas, so I didn't know.
Oh, you haven't? You totally should. It's great.
Yeah, I should. I've said before, I don't know. I've not grown up eating much other than like bland things. I need to venture out and eat new things, but I do have a bad stomach, so I generally
Oh,
just don't.
yeah.
but it's yeah, I need to eat some more interesting things. We were having discussion earlier about octopus. I have tasted octopus, so there, I've eaten something
Okay.
that's weird, and it was okay. It was fried octopus. It wasn't
Delicious.
bad. Yeah. I lost my picture now. I forgot what I was talking about. So okay, so she's saying that Jen is now hunting because
Mm-hmm.
Nat was able to teach her.
Teacher. Hmm.
Although I'm not sure why Ben couldn't, but I guess to be fair, it's kind of hard to teach when he's got one leg and everything and can't really.
Well, and he also
You know,
descended into madness in season 2, so he was
yeah,
off having this little pipe dream about his ex-boyfriend and all that.
yeah, he was kind of going down there. Susie, hey Susie says tapas isn't a type of food; it's the way the restaurant serves its portions. See, I don't know. I said I didn't know.
Yeah,
So
but if it's all the tapas, you get one of each thing. It's going to be real expensive, but it's going to be delicious.
yeah. Also,
They probably
hello.
have
Yes,
20 tapas on the menu, and you get all of them.
yes. You'd have quite a bit to choose from there.
Mm-hmm.
And Samuel says, if Shauna spit my stew, I just throw it back on the fire, then eat it. To be honest, with how starving they've been in the past, I kind of feel
Mm-hmm.
like you would eat it because you want the food and you were so starved you probably would, in all honesty.
I would make Shauna eat it.
Yeah, I would. That's what I was thinking. I would have been like, well, then if you didn't spit in it, you'd give me your
Mm-hmm.
food and you take this food. That would have been
It's
my
your spit. You
suggestion.
can eat your own spit.
Yeah,
Give me a
yeah,
new bowl.
yeah. Yeah, that was gross, but I'm
Would
surprised
it
they
matter to the
didn't.
poll if I just said venison stew without Shauna spit in it?
Yeah, I would take the
Is
venison
it a plus
stew
or a
without it
minus?
too. Yeah. Yeah, that would definitely be a better idea.
I mean, it's a plus.
I'm
It's probably
trying
a
to think.
plus for Melissa.
I don't know if I've ever eaten venison. I've eaten veal. I don't think I've ever
Mm,
actually eaten deer.
I'm in
Probably because I
Michigan.
didn't want to. I don't like the idea of eating animals. I do because
Mhm.
I eat them. I'm not vegan, but sometimes I wish I could be because I just really don't. Yeah, I could never go hunt. That's not
Yeah.
for me. I would not be Shauna. I would
In,
definitely not be a Shauna.
in Michigan, we're overwhelmed by deer, so yes, I have eaten venison. Venison pizza is pretty good.
Oh, that sounds. I don't know. I might have tasted it once when I was younger, because I
Yeah.
think my dad brought it home, like from somebody he knew at work. I think had killed a deer, but
Hmm.
like I don't remember it. So if I did, it was just like tasting it.
Hmm.
So anyway, as I was saying, Jen is now hunting, and they got the new shelters,
Hmm.
and this is where Sean is saying they worship evil spirits, and they hunted their
Hmm.
friends and feasted on them and fucking liked it. So they told themselves stupid fairy
Evil
tales,
spirits
and
questionable.
yeah, and pretended to be brave and strong. I like this though, because this
Hmm.
whole thing does really kind of sum up the
Hmm.
show and the idea of it. Like they did what they had to do,
Uh-huh.
and they told themselves it was okay because it was the only way they could deal with it. And
Hmm.
yeah, what they did, they had to do. Did they have to do
Hmm.
some of the things? Maybe not. Like maybe they could have done something
Hmm.
different than trying to kill Nat and ending up letting Javi die. But at the same time, if
Hmm.
they didn't, they might have all been dead.
Hmm.
And
They actually haven't participated in what I call active cannibalism yet.
no, they haven't. They
Because
haven't.
there are two acts of cannibalism with Jackie and Javi. Was Jackie had died,
Mhm.
and Javi fell through the ice. And technically they did watch him die, but they did not kill him.
They just didn't save him.
They just didn't save him.
Yeah, and yeah, what they did wasn't good. I'm not going to say it was good, but people
Well,
have people
what are you
have,
gonna do?
turned to cannibalism in real life when something like this has happened. There's that,
Hmm.
Alive or whatever it is with
Yeah. Hmm.
they did that. So it has happened. Let's see. Susie says, where does the architecture book come from? Was it someone's reading material for the plane ride? If it was in the cabin, why didn't it burn up? That's a good point. If it was in the cabin, it should have burned up, unless
Yeah,
they
but
were
they
already
but they had that whole
frying.
they had that whole sequence where all the girls are grabbing a whole bunches of stuff.
Oh,
Even
okay.
like
That's true.
Shauna grabbed Jackie's prom dress. I mean, they
Oh,
were
okay.
grabbing like anything they could get their hands on.
Yeah, because I was going to say, why would you choose books and a prom dress? But I guess if you're just grabbing everything, maybe you
Hmm.
would.
They
So,
grabbed pans. They grabbed
well,
blankets. They grabbed.
the pans and the blankets make sense. Even really a dress because it's still material you could cover with. But but you can also burn books if you needed to, I
Hmm.
guess, for fire. So maybe it's not the.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to know too who grabbed it, Susie. But it might have been something on the plane. I just wonder if it's
Mhm.
I never really thought about it, but like they might on the plane have things like for survival in case there's a plane crash, or who
Mhm.
knows, maybe the teachers like brought things just so they'd have it in case. I don't know. I never
Mhm.
really thought about it. But it's not a bad idea if you're going on a plane trip, probably to
Mhm.
put like all these survival shit on your iPad. So at least while you have a battery, be like, okay, now I can find out how to
Yeah,
cook
but
food.
they didn't have iPads in
No, I
1996.
know. I'm just teasing. But
But I mean, with her plane though, I mean, it was a private plane, but public planes often have magazines, newspapers, maybe even
yeah,
some books. You know, people
yeah.
leave stuff on the books, and I mean, on the plane, and like they could, one of them could have been taking a class about architecture.
It could be because Susie's right. It's ancient architecture. It's not like
Yeah.
this is how to build teepees. It's,
Hmm.
or huts or whatever you want to call them. I don't know what you want to call them, but I guess teepees isn't the
Yurts.
politically correct word. Sorry about that. Yeah, yurts maybe is a better name. Um, so anyway, I was going to say the one thing I wanted to comment on, and
Yeah,
I know, sorry, I tend to talk and not go through pictures always at the same time.
that's okay.
But Van says that it's all thanks to the fact that they're a team.
Hmm.
Now, that's the comment I wanted to talk about. Are they really? I
Hmm.
mean, they were, but I don't feel like they a lot of times really act like a team. They
Hmm.
don't. I mean, some of them do. I'm not saying they don't
Hmm.
all, but I feel like that's part of their problem is they don't all
Hmm.
come together. They're like just like Shauna and Maury, like they're fighting and they're not. I think sometimes their issues come from them arguing and
I
not.
guess for the majority of the time, they act like a team.
Yeah, I guess most of them do,
Yeah.
but not all of them.
I know, like, at the time of this picture, I thought it was interesting because when they were, Van was, down talking Ben, Travis turned to leave and Nat looked at the ground. So I don't think
Yeah,
either of those people are happy with what she's saying.
right. And Natalie clearly knows he's alive.
Yeah.
But also, I
Maybe
think
Travis does.
yeah, maybe she might have told him. I was gonna say maybe in this case, like it's more last season they weren't acting so much like a team
Mhm.
because they were fighting a lot more last season, like the whole thing where Jackie ended up out in the cold. I mean, they were all
Mhm.
kind of telling her, well, yeah, go out. Like they should have been like, guys, quit.
Mhm.
It's freezing out there. You're gonna
Mhm.
die of hypothermia. Just shut the fuck up and sit down. That would have been what I would have done.
Yeah,
And
but like in the first season, like Jackie became almost insufferable because she
she
wasn't
did.
doing anything. She wasn't working and doing any chores. And then she ran around, gossiped, and tried to break like
Yeah.
Nat and Travis up. And that was how she was, doing
Yeah.
things. And she probably
She
just became a nuisance.
she's kind of entitled, I guess, is the way I
Hmm.
describe her. She thinks that should
Hmm.
just be able to give everything.
And
But
and
the
and
people
in the
really
real world that would
yelled at
work,
them.
but in this upside down world, Misty is now the one that has the survival skills, and
Yeah, I
Jackie.
know. Yeah,
And that's what I
exactly.
loved about the first season was just, turning that all on its head.
Yeah. I still, though, partially blame Ben for that whole situation because
Mhm,
he was the only one I would consider they're an adult. I mean, they're
mhm,
close to adults, but they're still
mhm,
teenagers. And I think in that
mhm.
instance, he really should have just yelled at them. I don't know that they would have listened, but I think at the very
Yeah.
least, he could have been like, you guys can hate each other, you guys can
Mhm,
fight, but you're not going
mhm,
outside. This is ridiculous. You're going to kill yourself because
mhm.
I don't know. I feel like I would have been yelling at somebody. Maybe I
Yeah,
wouldn't, but I would
but
like to think I
Ben
would.
Ben kind of lost his control when Laura Lee said, "Oh, basically in the first season, I think Laura Lee said something about like, "Oh, you can't make us, coach," or something like that, or "What are you going to do about it?" And she kind of put him in his place. And then after that, he didn't seem that much
He
of
just
an
didn't
adult
try,
anymore.
I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. He didn't really try. Susie says they're hyper competitive, which is part of the reason why they're good at
Mm,
soccer. That is true.
yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Um, okay, let's see. Carly says, Ty even says that the petty squabbles are life and death out there, but we've
Hmm.
put a bunch of messed up kids in a crazy situation and they have no idea how to act. Yeah, that is in, I don't know if it's in this episode or the next episode, but yeah, even the little issues are life and death. And I
Hmm.
think that's the point that when you're out there, you
Hmm.
um, have to take it a little more seriously. But this episode is all about them at least
Hmm.
attempting to have fun, I guess. At least at
Yeah,
the
yeah,
beginning.
I think that that's one of the problems with Nat being the queen is she doesn't know how to do the. how to punish those petty squabbles.
Well, and I get that. Like they're all the same age, and she
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be. She shouldn't have to. I think is
Yeah.
the point. Like they're old enough, they know better, and she shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
have to. But I think the interesting part of Shauna's what she's saying is the end when she says that even if rescue came, we could never go home
Mm-hmm.
again because of what we've done, and
Mm-hmm.
that's become the truth. Anything else makes me want, and that's when she gives that look. But
That
yeah,
Kubrick stare, that
yeah, I
Kubrick
mean
dragon.
they're forever changed by what they've done. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But Travis is kind of sneaking off, and Lottie's following him.
Mm-hmm.
That was what that was about. And then here are just some more of them as they're talking. That was when she was saying that they ate people and liked it, basically.
I mean, it might come true if like the wilderness or death comes calling for them.
Yeah. Yeah. I still feel like we're missing. I guess it's because we're still so far back in time in their period of time that like once we get closer to them getting rescued, more things will happen because they haven't quite like that one time when they all got high and tried to kill Travis, like that was really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And when they were going to kill
Natalie,
Natalie,
they accidentally got high.
Yeah, but that was the first time that they really went off the deep end, I guess. And it could, I think as things happen, I think as time goes on, they're going to get worse and worse. Because right now they are sort of still somewhat a team. And I don't think that's going to last. So let's see. Callie's smoking. And she's getting, I just took some of these, where she's getting dressed. Her mom tells her
smoking
she's
the chronic.
Yeah, smoking the chronic, which I had never heard it called that.
Oh, Jeff called it the chronic in season 2.
Oh, okay. It was probably a really quick line. I don't remember him saying that, but I had never, outside of the show, I've never heard it called that. I've heard it called a lot of other things, but never heard it called that. Oops. So anyway, she's running late. That's what she was doing. She was smoking pot. So she likes Lana Del Rey. I was kind of wondering if you could see any of the posters. Her mother is talking. There's like a conversation about oatmeal that isn't important. And then she starts yelling at her about the dishes. And she's like, are you really worried about that now? Like I think Shauna's just having a hard time dealing with Natalie right now. So she's, I don't know, trying to think about other things, I guess, because she, the fact that she's even saying anything about that.
They cremated the body, so I guess there's no more investigation then. Everything that happened at Sunshine Honey or whatever was just fine.
Yeah, I wonder if it would have been easier to. I'm thinking now that you said that, I'm thinking, why didn't they just cremate what's his face? It would have been a lot. And I know it's not.
Oh, Adam. Yeah. They cremated his head.
That easy. They cremated his head. You're right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Susie says, even if you look at the story of the soccer team behind Alive, there's a lot of discrepancy and they tried to hide their story because they didn't realize people might understand. Was Alive about a soccer team? See, I didn't remember what it was about. I never actually saw it.
It's a sports team. I don't know if it's a soccer team, but they get stuck in,
something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I never watched it. It wasn't really. I didn't want to see it. It's kind of gross.
Not an Ethan Hawke fan.
But I'm enjoying this, so at least.
So there's some crazy pictures of them because a guy had a camera. So they took pictures of them, and there's pictures of people smiling, and then there's a human rib cage underneath one of the chairs.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, okay. I was going to say, what was he talking about? Dr. Dre saying there's an album called Chronic. Yeah, he probably would have listened to it. The time period fits too. So Misty's listening to a relaxation tape, which I found kind of out of character. Did you? I'm like thinking she's just sitting there trying to stay calm. That didn't seem like Misty to me. It made me laugh, but
I like the phrase "Wizard of Tones."
Wizard of Tones. I don't have that.
That was on her headset.
Okay.
Listen to the Wizard of Tones.
That's funny. But either way, she's trying to calm down. But poor Walter. I feel so bad for Walter in this episode because he's the one, and I actually kind of in a way makes me feel bad for Misty too, because he's the one person that cares about Misty, and she is too blind to see it right now. and it's like last season, I feel like we watched first and second season together. So to me, it's last season. All
Yeah.
she wanted was like a friend and somebody to be a true friend.
Hmm.
And he actually cares about her. Although sometimes I wonder if maybe he cares about her more than he should. I don't know, because I don't think they've been together that long.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I
I
think
know
she's kind of one of these people like that. If somebody is being nice, she doesn't really acknowledge them being nice because she wants to, be with the cool kids, which she
yeah,
thinks are her teammates, and she's not even like, you know, I mean, it's kind of masochistic in a way, maybe built up that she doesn't expect people to be nice to her, and then she takes offense to them being nice to her
yeah,
because she's so used to being trod upon.
that's true. But she thinks people are her friends that aren't, and it's just kind of sad. And but I don't know. I'm curious if, like, I feel like Walter could become stalkery, and I don't know, but I get that impression.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
I'm wondering
Well,
if it's
I had a, oh, sorry, Jamie,
no, go
please
ahead.
go.
Go ahead.
No, I have in my notes. Nice
Oh,
guy, but he could kill her easy.
yeah, it's dark. I wonder too though if sometimes I tend to forget. You got to remember that, like, on television, things like relationships can be a lot shorter and have more meaning. Like, people
Hmm.
fall in love in a couple days type of thing, because it's the way television is. Because Misty makes a comment at the end of the second episode, when
Hmm.
she says to him something like, "If you love me, you have to love my friends."
Hmm.
And
Maybe
I
I'm a
don't
people lover.
I don't know that she meant it quite literally, but I'm thinking that's kind of like a big thing to say already. Like,
Hmm.
have they said they love each other? Like, I don't know, but
Well, they said it in
yeah.
Morse code in that dream
Oh,
sequence.
that's right, they did. Well, but that was a dream sequence, so it
And
wasn't
I
real.
think it's supposed to be 6 weeks later, even though like
Okay.
Natalie didn't have a funeral the 6 weeks later.
True. So yeah, it could be. But
Hmm.
still, he thinks Walter's being a bit manipulative,
Hmm.
Jason does. Yeah. And I guess that's kind of point. Like, I don't know. I just worry he's a little
Hmm.
too into her. Um
Well, there's also that little smirk he has when he puts the key down that you
well,
see when he leaves, and I don't know. I think he could be turned a little bit more towards being Marlati to her Sherlock. Like he might turn
maybe.
over to the evil side because
He
he said
could.
that he wanted to be a Moriarty to her
He did
Sherlock.
say that before. He did say that before. I didn't really take that scene quite that way though. When he put
Yeah.
that key down, I took it more that, like, he's trying so hard to kind of get her out of her funk,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, I know that if I talk about this and say this, she's gonna bite it. She's gonna,
Mm-hmm.
take the what I'm saying, and it'll make her care. And like, he
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, it worked, took line and sinker. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I more took it like that. Like, he was just happy that he knew what he did worked. But it
Yeah.
could have been taken the other way too. Let's see.
Was there?
Samuel said
Oh,
Misty cares
sorry.
about the other. Sorry, no, I was just saying Misty cares about the other Yellow Jackets more
Mm-hmm.
than Walter. It means more to her than Walter. And Susie says Misty and Walter are both somewhat antisocial and psychopathic. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they're what did you say? But he is cute right now. Yeah, he is. He's
Yep.
cute. Um, yeah, they're definitely sociopathic. Sometimes maybe
Mm-hmm.
psychopathic. No, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off when I was reading that. What were you going to say?
Well, I didn't know if you had a picture at the end because Misty's reflection was on a picture, and I didn't know if that was a picture of Nat.
I
I
don't
couldn't
think
see it on my TV, but there definitely was a reflection of her
I didn't notice a
after this.
reflection.
It's in that photo,
Yeah,
but I
that was, I
didn't.
think, the only one I got of the
I don't know
photo.
if anybody in the
No, there'd be
chat.
more.
Who's the photo of? Is that of Natalie? Because I don't know because I can't see on my television.
Yeah, I can't tell. My TV is so reflective in my office, I wouldn't be able to tell you. But I didn't even think about the photo. I just was trying to get the key, and I at least
Mm-hmm.
got the key. But he
Well,
does the
you
point
could
that,
see her face really good in the glass, like a duality thing. But I thought it was over Natalie's picture, or like she was becoming Natalie, like a little bit of foreshadowing.
yeah, because she's trying to in this episode, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he just basically says he knew that she would have a storage unit. And
Mm-hmm.
I looked up.
Because of her Myers Briggs.
Yeah, I knew I'd heard it before and couldn't remember what it was, and I looked it up and I'm like, oh, okay, that's her. He's just saying her
Mm-hmm.
personality type, basically her
Mm-hmm.
nomadic tendencies.
I
So yeah,
am an INFP. Do you know what your type is?
no,
They
no clue.
made us take it in college, like a
Oh,
job assessment, like what career path you'd be good at.
yeah, I don't remember ever taking that, but I think I've been out of college a lot longer than you have too.
I don't know about that.
I was gonna say I'm going I'm going on 20 years out of college. That makes me feel really, really old to say that, but yeah, this is coming up 20 years out of college, not even just high school, 25 out of high school.
What
Um,
is that box? There's a box there too.
there's a box. What box?
Oh, that green thing that's on.
Oh, that. I don't know. That looks like a little jewelry, little trinket thing to
Yeah.
me. I don't know. Um, Susie says, I think she's going to decide she has a drinking problem and become too dependent on him. Maybe. Samuel says Misty has a poster of a guy with no eyes. Maybe an
Hmm.
album cover. Did you know? Was it in one of these pictures? I don't know if
I
there's
don't know. We
Rise.
could go around the room and see here.
Yeah, that's
Is
why I'm
it
going
this
back.
one?
I assume she meant there.
Oh,
I
here. Phantom of
assume
the Opera.
Phantom of the Opera. I noticed.
That has one eye.
Um, I don't know
No
what that
eyes
says.
in the mask.
Oh, Phantom of the Opera has no eye. Yeah, but the Phantom of the Opera mask never has eyes. It's a mask.
It's a
I don't
man
know
with
if that's
no
what
eyes.
Susie meant or not. Hey, wait, look. Now that we went back, that's what the photo is. It's her family.
Oh,
So
oh, it's
no,
her
it's not
family.
Natalie.
Okay,
So that should answer your question. But
okay.
yes, technically, if she means the Phantom of the Opera mask, yes, technically it has no eyes.
Yeah.
It's a mask. But
It's a
I don't
mask.
know if that's what she meant or not. She might not have realized what it was. There's
Yeah.
sunglasses too.
Yeah,
Okay, so
see, there's this statue that looks a lot like the statue and behind the when Ty walks into that
the
place where
church.
there's a Mexican preacher and then there's
Yeah,
this kind of
what was
altar.
that a church? I wasn't sure what that was, if that was just like a
It's a
service
church.
somewhere. It was a church? Okay, I
Yeah, it
wasn't
was probably a
entirely
small
sure. I thought
Mexican
so.
church with
Yeah, it could
you
have
know, a
been.
little altar space behind it.
Right. I don't know. But this is this part's at the funeral.
Hmm. Well, I
Now,
just think it's interesting. It's almost the same statue.
yeah, but I mean, a lot of statues are similar in church.
Hmm.
Now, I thought it was kind of interesting that they showed
Crazy
it
upside
upside
down.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously upside down crosses have a lot of symbolism, so I assume that was why they took the picture upside down, but it
It's a
might have just been
choice.
a choice. Yeah, a choice,
It's a
exactly.
choice.
The candles. See, I try to take various things. Now, I thought this was very
Hmm.
interesting, the snake.
Mary
I mean,
Stubbing.
obviously it's supposed to be the snake, I'm assuming in the Garden of Eden, but I mean,
Mhm.
snakes, lots of snake
Well,
symbolism and
the snake has a lot of goddess imagery too, and there's a lot of like, you know, when pagans were converted to Christianity, a lot of the goddesses were like snake goddesses, so I think they kind of put that on there because of that.
yeah, maybe.
But made Mary step on her, but still the goddess imagery is the same.
Yeah, well, I mean,
And the
snakes have a
moon.
lot of symbolism though too. I mean, it could be a
Hmm.
lot of things, I think, as a snake.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, I guess she did mean Phantom of the Opera. Uh, well, thank you, Doc. Doc's watching it without the volume.
Yeah,
I guess I better
it
type it
was a
then.
good
He
spot.
isn't gonna hear me.
Yeah, it was a good spot. I didn't see the Phantom of the Opera poster, but you know, it checks because she was playing that in the
Yeah,
corner
yeah,
with Jessica Roberts.
yeah, I noticed the Phantom of the Opera poster, but to be fair, I'm taking screen captures, so I would know
Yeah.
more. Hi, Grow and Thrive. Thank you for being here. So what did oh, okay, I see what I did. I thought I skipped this. There's her memorial
Very
memory.
brief shot of Juliette Lewis, who
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah, yeah.
like
She's in this
never wants to
episode.
be in this show ever again.
Yeah, yeah. Is there did she want to be out of it or?
Yeah, she wanted to be out of it. She said that I've seen a few interviews where she said she didn't like where her character was going, that her character was obsessed with Travis and she didn't like that. And she was, you know, didn't deal well with having a drug, you know, plot line because of her own experience.
No, I get that.
But mainly being obsessed with a boy. She didn't want her character to be obsessed with a boy. So I guess that's why in the second season she develops more of a friendship with Lisa and kind of finds herself, and it's less about being obsessed with Travis.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's fine if she don't want to do it. I mean, the the
Plus
writers should
Juliette
do what
Lewis
they
is
want.
Juliette Lewis.
Yeah, but it's good at least they didn't recast her, because I feel like it's one thing to
Yeah.
recast the background girls, but to recast
Mhm.
her would be not good.
Yeah. Mhm.
So this is just the funeral, and actually I was gonna say there's not many people there, but I guess it could
Mhm.
be a small funeral. Her mother gets up and says about,
Well,
I don't know, is that supposed to be her sister then, I guess?
no, that's her mom.
Oh, that's supposed to be her mom. She must have had her really
She's
young then.
got her on the swing because she likes to push her on the swing, and she used to have a fit if she
Yeah.
didn't push her until nighttime. Because she pushed her because she's your mom.
Yeah, I what do you make of this? I kind of almost make it that she's like, it's almost like her being annoyed, but like she doesn't say it that way. But it's almost like, oh yeah, all she wanted was to be pushed on a swing, like because her mother never was there. I mean, she was just a drunk. She wasn't
Mhm.
a good well, at least the amount. So we've had this conversation with Severance. With the amount that we've seen of her mother, she doesn't seem
Mhm.
like she was a good mother. And I didn't
Yeah,
notice that. I didn't notice that was supposed to be a swing in the picture, Susie. Now, I mean, now that we
yeah.
say that, I get that. But yeah,
I
not a
think
great
I think it might have been the only like memory she had before she just got like beaten up a lot by her husband and just wanted to sit in front of the TV all day because she's younger watching it, and then later when older Nat comes, she's watching it, but now she has an oxygen mask.
Yeah, yeah,
Something happened to her, like some kind of trauma that just put her comatose.
yeah, yeah. It could be.
And maybe the last good memory she had of her was pushing her in a swing and remembering that.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we don't know that if her husband hadn't been abusive, maybe she would have been a better mother. We don't know
Yeah.
if it was more than that that made her a drunk mother all the time. We don't know a whole lot about Nat's family, so I can only say so much.
But the
But
brevity of it was great, and it was hilarious.
yeah, yeah, it was funny. She didn't protect Natalie from her father. No, you're
Mhm.
right.
Yeah.
But I guess my point is maybe if her father hadn't been the way he was, she wouldn't have been like that. We just don't know. We didn't see enough of it. So
She almost holds it against adult Natalie too because they accidentally shot himself. It was like on her.
yeah, yeah, that's true. Probably him shooting himself though might have been a good thing for both of them. As
Yeah.
awful as it is to say that, it probably wasn't necessarily a bad thing. So let's see. Oh, I lost my picture again. I keep accidentally moving it to the bottom of the screen. So they go to the bar.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's kind of my point, Susie. She could just be a tragic figure of abuse. That's why I'm saying we don't really know. She didn't protect her, but we don't know enough to
Mhm.
be fair, to give a good enough picture. And
Mhm.
and yeah, I guess we did say shot himself. That was Natalie that shot him. It wasn't he shot
No,
himself.
he shot himself.
Like I'm trying to remember exactly what happened. Either way, she
He
was standing
accidentally
there.
shot himself. He fell and the gun went off and shot him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
She
that's
didn't
right.
shoot him. She tried to shoot him, but she had the safety on and he made fun of her for having the
Oh,
safety
that's right. That's right.
because she
Okay.
was just like trash.
Yeah.
Like he
This is
did.
why I feel like I need to watch this again. I love doing watch parties, but when I watch it in the watch party, I feel like I missed so much. And since I
Mhm.
haven't rewatched a lot of it, I don't remember a lot of it. But
Yeah.
so they go to a bar, which is, a great way to remember your friend that had an alcohol problem, but
Mhm.
uh,
Well, Shauna even says in this scene that she's the worst. She's the worst mom and wife. Shauna is the worst, so she's acknowledging it.
yeah, I know. I just mean like you think maybe they would have done something a little different.
I
Hey,
don't
hey,
know.
hey.
I guess it's just like friends getting together after the world's shortest funeral service.
Yeah, no, I don't think that she would have necessarily felt bad they did it. It just was kind of like a little bit of irony there.
Mhm.
But I lost where I was at. All right, where did I go? Where did I go? They do. She does say though. Van says about um. Let's see. When Van says that you can just say we ate each other, which
Mhm.
they ate some of each other, not all of them. But he's like, Nat wasn't one for bullshit.
Mhm.
And then that's when Shauna starts saying, what does any of it mean?
Mhm.
If I died tomorrow, what would people say? And I love Van. I do love adult Van too. And she's like,
Yeah.
oh, we just lie to you. It's okay. And she's
Mhm.
like, I want to know what normal people would say. So she kind of insulted her back there.
Mhm.
So yeah, she thinks her husband would be better off if she was dead. Now, I have to say, I kind of wonder, and I wanted to ask you your opinion.
Mhm.
And I hate to say it because I don't want to see it happen, but I feel like there's things in these episodes that are foreshadowing something's going to happen to Shauna. Do you
Mhm.
feel like that?
Well, the thing where in the trailer where it looks like Misty stabs her.
Where it looks like what?
Misty stabs her.
In
There's
the
a scene in
oh,
the
in the
trailer that
okay.
looks like adult Misty stabs adult Shauna in the back, but it could be a dream sequence.
It could be, yeah. I don't know.
But I had this idea that, and this theory, and Fire kind of agrees with me. Erin, that's Fire. She does video essays. Is that maybe we can have her on sometime. She's really cool.
Yeah, sure.
But that this theory that somebody selects a card, and if they select a card, and then somebody else goes in their place, like with Nat and Javi, death eventually comes for the person the next time a card is pulled.
Oh, that's why you said Final Destination to me when we were talking.
Yeah, like Final Destination. Like Nat draws a card, but Javi dies. So when, in her place, but when Shauna draws a card, then Nat dies, because that's the order of things. That's the way it has to be when you draw the card. You're going to have to eventually die if you draw the queen card.
Oh, you mean at the end of season 2? Yeah.
Even if it's 25 years later, that's going to come a calling. Yeah, the wilderness.
Definitely the wilderness. Yeah. I mean, it definitely could be. There's a couple references. Obviously here she's talking about if she died, but I forget when we get to it. I know there was other references too that made me think the same thing, the way they were doing it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's one of those things. Is it a red herring? I don't know. But to me, it seemed like it could be foreshadowing. So we'll find out when we get there. And Susie, I have no idea where you're going. I hate elevators. What? I missed something there. Oh, she's talking about Final Destination. Okay, never mind. I caught on what you're talking about, because she says about being behind cars with logs. So yeah, now I get it.
This is about the only show about elevators. It's weird.
No, I know. That's why I was thinking of Severance when she said that. I'm like, wait, what?
Well, there was that one vision that Lottie had where she went in an elevator and ended up in a mall. I think that was about the only time.
That was a weird dream / vision thing she had.
Yeah.
So let's see. Ty says that she impeached herself. And that's where Vase says, "No, knock it off. No one's dying tomorrow." And that was also, of course, little.
I put more exposition, maybe too much.
Yeah, maybe. No, but she's just like, there's time to workshop the eulogies. Just the fact that she keeps, like, they keep talking about it makes me think one of them's going to die. Maybe Shauna. I'm wondering though, and I don't know that it means anything, but it stood out to me that she does say that, talks like that twice. Because when she's talking earlier, she's like, we should workshop that title with Capture the Bone. And now she's like, we could workshop the eulogies. I don't know. It just stood out to me. You've obviously never worked at a mall. Yeah, that's true. I ride roller coasters. I love roller coasters, but yeah, Final Destination maybe makes you afraid to do a little couple things there.
They did have one of the films had a really cool DVD where you could like choose a pathway in it. Yeah, like you could choose them not to get on the plane in the beginning and then the movie just ended, or you could choose like, this person goes to the tanning bed or goes over here, and you would get a different scene.
And you could watch it in a different order. That's cool. I never seen that.
They still all died, but you can watch it in a somewhat alternative form.
That's very interesting. Is it the original or is it a different one?
I think it's like the third one with the roller coaster, if I'm not mistaken. They all came out on my birthday.
No, I mean the one.
So it was kind of like a common thing for me to go see them 3D on my birthday.
No, I meant like, was it the third movie you could choose your path?
Yeah, I think so. I think I think the third one was the one with the roller coaster, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. That's interesting though. I'd like to go and watch that. I didn't know they had that. That's pretty cool. Let's see. So they say Lottie, she says Lottie's at the facility for differently sane. And then Shauna makes a comment that Misty could be watching them now because they didn't tell her about the funeral, but clearly she knew from Walter. But more than that, this is the important part here, is that somebody's watching them. Now, I think it's Melissa. I think that is pointed to very heavily by the end of the second episode. Would you agree with that, or do you think it's somebody else?
Joe McHale in a wig.
Joe McHale. Okay, that's where you're talking about Joe McHale, yeah.
If it's not Melissa, then it's Melissa's sister or something that's related to Melissa, I'm assuming.
Yeah, maybe. But
I did see a video essay where people enlarged a Hillary Swank picture and they said that they thought that she had contacts in, like a lighter color in her eyes.
Yeah,
So it could
I
be
don't
Melissa.
know. I'm like, I've read a couple like what do you want to call it, rumors of things, but they're rumors, and I don't want to
Because like Tony
spoilers.
Cypress, wears different color contacts. That's why sometimes her eyes look red, because it's just the effect of the contacts, and people are thinking it was related to dark tie. But she has like kind of hazily eyes.
Oh,
But
so
she
they're
has to
doing
wear
that
brown.
to the other actress.
With the Shaunas too, it's the same way.
Yeah,
The team Shauna wears brown contacts.
yeah. Well, that makes sense. They want to
Because
make.
people are like saying Hillary Swank has different color eyes and she couldn't be Melissa. I'm like, all it needs is some contacts.
Yeah,
You're
that's
good to
not.
go.
Yeah, that's not. That's something they can fix easy.
Mm-hmm.
So Misty goes to the storage. What is it with her cat sweatshirts? Maybe
she has so many of them in these episodes.
She does. But she goes into her storage unit. Now, I find it interesting. I think I have a little bit better picture that has all the stuff trash there. But I think she has there. That shows a little bit more of the stuff.
Oh, that one. I had something to say about this one.
Well, first I was going to say, before you say that I think it's interesting that Natalie always acted like they didn't matter. And clearly, I think that this is showing that her team and her friends were important to her, because she kept that team photo all that time. Now, what were you going to say? Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say that she has a cassette of Fine Young Cannibals and the tape thing that Misty's putting down.
Oh, that's right. I remember now, you said that to me.
She also has Bauhaus. Bauhaus is one of my favorite bands, but I was reading them and I thought it was funny that Fine Young Cannibals is right in the middle of it too. So you see it. If you see any of those tapes, you'll see Fine Young Cannibals.
Mix for Nat. The Gathering. I can't.
Yeah, The Gathering. I don't know. And the actors. I'm not sure what these bands are.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to read.
But Fine Young Cannibals is right in the middle.
No, I believe you. I can't see it on the screen capture.
There's like a new wave mix.
Yeah, it's probably the second that I happen to take it. It's hard to tell. Yeah, but she sees her jacket. She takes her jacket. Let's see. So Shauna asks Melissa for help with the meat, and that's when she drops it, which is like, really? I mean, they're gonna cook it. I guess it don't matter, but oh geez, why did I blank on her name? Mari. And I forget who else is. I thought I had a picture of them. They are not being very nice. I don't know who was sitting with. It might have been Akila. I don't know. Whoever was laying with her on the tower, whatever. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, Mari. Okay, you're talking about Mari.
Yeah, I was saying right there. Mari and it looks like it might be Jen. Yeah. They were kind of not being super nice right then. And
but they weren't biting people.
No, they weren't biting people. You're right. But Shauna says, I can't believe we didn't eat that bitch first. That's one of the best lines.
Shauna's the worst, but she's best at being the worst.
She is. But then her Melissa's comment, though, she's so dumb she chipped her tooth on fire. That's great. She's like, you got a personality.
Well, she said that because I think that was a troll on the fans, because like people don't remember Melissa, but I remember Melissa's Princess Bride line. I remember her and Jen talking, thinking Javi was a ghost. I remember them talking about they would eat Crystal, they found her body. I remember a lot of Melissa lines.
Oh, I remember the thing with about Crystal's body. I do remember that.
But the Javi ghost line was funny.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't talking and they were like, maybe he was a ghost.
Yeah, no, I do remember that now. Grown Thive, who does Joe McHale play? I don't know if it's been released and people know. I have no clue. I don't think you do.
Believe me, I've been looking. I look with bated breath through both of these episodes trying to find them. Yeah. Because I really like Joe McHale.
Well, unfortunately, this time I have not seen any further, so I have no clue. Let's see. Am I okay? Nano Boxixtina? Bot-Ixtina? Am I the only person that thinks Walter is Missy's alter? And then said multiple below that. I'm not sure what you mean by. I'm assuming that's Misty's. Unless that was supposed to be multiple. Maybe he meant, or he or she. I'm sorry. I did that again.
I think it's Nano Bot Christina.
But that might have been Walter.
Christina.
Yeah. Am I the only person that thinks Walter is? Yeah, I don't know. Misty. Okay. Christina. Yeah, Xtina, I guess. Okay. Nanobot Xtina. Um,
What like dark tie and and normal tie that like dark
oh,
Misty's
like
alter?
yeah, like alternate maybe. I'm not sure. You'll have to tell us if that's what you meant or not. Sorry, I might be botching your comment, but I'm not 100% sure. Sometimes I think some people when they type like it gets
I
autocorrected or
mean,
whatever.
he could be like Misty's dark side, really, metaphorically, but not actually physically.
Yeah, he's definitely really there since he picked her up in a car. And
Mhm.
has he interacted? Yeah, he's interacted with Randy. So yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I guess I meant dark because he killed Kevin and all that other stuff.
I forgot about that. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
How can you
But
forget
then,
about that? I love
huh?
Kevin 10. I love me some Kevin 10. How did
Yeah,
you forget
I
about
like
that?
Kevin. I was sad he killed him. But anyway, they're having this conversation, and Akila comes over. She gives her the crown that she said Lottie asked her to make for her since it's
Mhm.
her um, baby that died. And she's really pissed by that and throws it on the ground. And Melissa steps, I thought I didn't get a picture of her stepping on. She steps on it to kind of show she's on her side. And they met multiple personality. Not really the other people could have thought it was Misty. Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't know that they could have thought that, but yeah, I mean, it's sort of like a reflection of her, I guess maybe. Um, yeah, but I think, but people have well, I guess when he hurt Randy though, no, it had to be him because Randy knew Misty.
Mhm.
I mean, she even made a point of saying you have to go in because Randy will recognize me. So I think if it
Mhm.
was like literally her alternate, I think that we would
Mhm.
have known it in that instance.
Well, and Walter was also in the kitchen giving Kevin Tan poison cocoa,
Yeah, that's
and
it.
Misty was off
Oh,
dancing.
okay.
So,
AA
yeah.
thinks Ty has yeah, multiple personalities,
Oh,
identity disorder. Misty
mhm.
might be bipolar, have BP. Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. And that goes back to where I was saying that I think that a lot of it is not supernatural. I think what Ty does is definitely seems to me to be
Mhm.
a second personality that she is
Mhm.
somewhat aware of, but not completely aware of.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know, but
And plus, like Pika or Pika with the eating dirt, or that's pronounced Pika, Pika.
yeah, no, I know what you mean. I'm not
Yeah.
sure how it's pronounced, but yeah,
Mhm.
that's true. There is that. So let's see.
Then
Oh, I
we-
wrote down, I have in my notes here, not that this is necessarily important, but this
mhm.
scene when she kind of backed her up reminded me of when Crystal did that to Misty, like when Crystal
Mhm.
started sort of sticking up for
Mhm.
Misty. Although that didn't end well. So I don't know.
But it was
Uh,
kind of mean. Akila's so nice, and they just stomped
yeah,
on the
Keela
thing she
didn't do
made.
anything, and she
I
yelled at her.
mean, yeah, it's
But
not cool.
Sean is being mean to everybody. So
I think there's a lot of deflective energy in Shauna. Like she doesn't like Lottie, so she takes it out on Akila,
yeah,
or
yeah,
Mari.
she doesn't seem to like anybody right now. Let's be
No,
honest.
yeah, she's bitchy to everyone. Yeah,
She's bitchy to
equally,
everybody.
equally.
Um, yeah. So you said equally. It makes me think of like enjoy each of these equally.
Enjoy this bitchiness equally.
Yes, enjoy the bitchiness equally. Sorry, guys, if you don't watch Severance, you'll still hear lots of Severance and from
Mhm.
references and jokes.
Well, all the shows have similar themes, so
They do, yeah, they
yeah.
do. So let's see. Oh, that's interesting. AA says, I think it's supernatural, but I think the entity is taking advantage of their mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely a possibility. I have to ask you then, AA, you saying that, do you think that something followed them back then? Because clearly it's happening after they've been back as well in the present, whatever you want to call it, present, future. It's still happening to her. Uh, so yeah. So
Why the gap in years? Why 25 years?
yeah, why did it wait that long? That's a
Mm.
good question. So something would have had to have set it off. So they get Misty to leave so they can talk. They talk about hunting. They're never nice to Misty, but she kind of sometimes deserves it. So,
Right.
and that's when it's like Ty's like, "Did you see anything?" And these like murderous pyro tracks. And Natalie's just kind of like, there's no way he's alive, because she's just getting them trying to get them to quit talking
Natalie
about it.
is not a good liar. She should not
She
lie.
is not a good liar, but
She is
everybody
not.
except Misty buys it, right?
No,
Which is
Misty
funny.
doesn't even buy it. Misty just runs at Shauna.
Yeah, no, Misty doesn't buy it. She's the only one. The rest
Yeah,
of them
okay. Yeah, that's right.
seem to take it and
Yeah.
for what it is. Yeah, I mean, she knows seems to be a good guy, and she doesn't want them coming after him and killing him. I think that maybe she would have done a better job convincing him it wasn't that he didn't burn down the cabin, but I don't know. It's hard to tell with the girls. She also probably feels like he does. If it doesn't matter what the truth is. If they decide it's what it is, they might kill him.
But she lies pretty strong. She could take it back a little bit and probably be more convincing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So then it flashes to, which I think we expected, showing that he is alive. He fixes his trap there. Also, I'm wondering if this is representative of like a noose and it's foreshadowing anything. I mean, he did try to kill him before. But I know, because I noticed later whenever he ties up Mari, he put the rope around her neck too, which makes me think it definitely could be foreshadowing somebody is going to hang. Although it could be metaphorical too. I mean, it could not necessarily.
It just reminded me of some Good, Bad, and the Ugly thing where somebody ropes somebody around to make them walk behind a horse.
Haven't seen that, but
you've been watching westerns. You could probably know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm not only sci-fi westerns. I told you, I'm not.
Well, in Westworld, they did that too. The Man in Black did that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
the characters.
Yeah, no, he did, but he did wrap it around her neck. So he fixes his track. What? It looked like when he put acorns down there. Can you trap somebody by getting them to eat acorns? Do animals? I guess probably some animals do eat acorns.
Squirrel.
Squirrel, but I would think he'd be trying to get something bigger in a squirrel. I don't know.
Well, squirrel's a good meal. I have neighbors that used to trap
one person probably.
I haven't eaten squirrel.
Yeah, I know.
We people that have
squirrel. We don't know. Let's see. So they go out. Okay, wait. This is more of him. Okay, he. I know you said don't mention Lost or whatever, but I don't know.
I know what's going to happen.
About Lost, it was hard. That must be like a weird optical illusion I'm seeing, because that looks like his back is missing. And I don't know if it's the way they did the effect, but it must be his shirt. I don't know. To me, it looks like his whole back's missing. I don't know. Maybe there was green screen on that part of his shirt. And it's like very possible they green screened his leg out, and like part of it, his shirt was green too, and like they green screened it and didn't realize it disappeared because we happened to get one frame. Because is it just me, or does it look like that? It looks to me like his whole bottom part's missing. Which is very possible. He might have his whole body buried in the dirt or something in real life. And
yeah, it does look strange.
Yeah, so I don't know. It might just be I happen to get a frame that shows the effect messed up. But anyway. Yeah, it looks like his pants aren't. Oh, that's his sack. That isn't his pants. That's why. That's his bag.
Oh, you thought he just had part of his torso missing?
Yes, I thought maybe it was.
I knew that was a sack. I just thought.
Well, no, because when they do green screen, like if they have anything the color of the green screen, it can make it disappear. But yes, that's his sack. I thought it was his pants. Never mind. Never mind.
No, I can't unsee the piece of his torso that's missing.
Sorry, that's what I kept saying. But anyway, he found a hatch. I mean, he didn't, but that's I know Susie said the same thing. We were watching like a hatch. Now, see, this was in the opening credits.
Yeah.
The picture. He's looking down in it. He climbs down a ladder. He gets around better than I feel like he should at this point. Like, how the hell did he get a ladder to put down there? I don't know, unless it was already there.
I thought the ladder was already there.
It might have been. But he, let's see, where did I go? I think I skipped something. I was, okay, there was a conversation with Ty and Natalie that I kind of skipped, was when she was saying about life and death stuff. We had talked about it earlier. Accidentally skipped that. But he finds this case that says KUH, which probably stands for something, and then a bunch of Dharma food, which I can't help. I can't not eat Dharma food. I'm sorry. But
I have never seen it. I've never seen Lost. I don't know what you're even talking about.
No, I know. He has heavy duty batteries. He has bear spray, which is just kind of convenient. A flashlight.
Somebody's spraying something like bear spray in the trailer, so now we know where this came from.
Oh, okay, yeah. Um, there's protein bar. It seems strange to me, and maybe not. I don't know. I don't take survivalist stuff, but peanut protein bars. Maybe somebody's allergic to peanuts and he'll poison somebody. Who knows? That looks like something bad. I don't know. Hey, I'm
Which
just.
one of you girls is allergic to peanuts?
Yeah, I know, right? Um, wait. A say maybe there's a skinwalker. Let's see. Um, yeah, back to what Nana was saying. Yes, Walter did kind of appear out of nowhere, but I think he's a person. I do really think he's a person as opposed to part of her. But I mean, it sort of makes sense. But anyway, he finds all this food and he, starts shoving it. Yes, Stacy. That's what I said. It's all Dharma. We just need a Dharma fish.
I also like all the religious music that's playing. There's almost like a choir kind of music playing when he's
I remember there
being
being
as well.
interesting music. I didn't it didn't tell the name in the captions, so I didn't write it down.
Yeah.
So let's go back a second. Let's talk about the fact he found this. So this clearly means that there was more people at this place.
I don't know if it necessarily does, because it could be Cabin Daddy's supply of food.
Well, he's dead, but I mean, there was other people there originally at some point. They couldn't be there unless it was like a food drop. I assume somebody
I
brought
have no
it.
evidence of any other people living there except for Cabin Daddy.
Well, it could have even been Cabin Daddies, but I just mean somebody, buried it or whatever.
Cabin Daddy.
But it's it's in that hole. So I assume somebody put it there. I kind of wondered though, if it was like a food drop type thing, it might have a GPS on it, which would be interesting.
I don't believe it's food drop.
Considering Misty destroyed the black box, but I doubt that's the case. But I don't know. That's what I was thinking of. But I was thinking too much of other shows and stuff. So
delicious though.
Either way, they've got some. He's got some food. If they end up killing him or something, they may have more.
And it's probably good because those MREs last about 25 years.
Yeah, it's meant to last. So, these girls at the school are saying nasty things about Natalie and about Shauna. They're saying Natalie OD'd on fentanyl, which is not untrue. But they're talking about the weird cult shit they did in the woods, and that now. Again, this is another thing to me that is maybe foreshadowing that Mari is Pit Girl, because they say that Kali's mom was there when they killed pigs and ate them, and they were ate them raw and smeared their guts on them. Later on, I think it's Van is calling Mari. She's going, "Here, piggy, piggy." And it made me think that, and I'm like, that's interesting.
So you think that Mari will fall into a pit twice? That seems crazy.
I don't know, but I think that she might die and be eaten regardless, because at one point they say the sounds, what if it's Mari being eaten? And then she calls her a pig, and they talk about eating pigs. So in either way, I think that there's a chance that
I thought Mari fell in the pit first time sanctified her from falling into the pit the second time.
Maybe, I don't know.
Out of competition.
But she does look like she could be the one from the opening.
I think it might be Robin, because Robin was introduced and she's brunette as well.
Yeah, it could be any of the brunettes, but Mari is the OG pit girl. Yeah, yeah,
she is, because she fell in the pit.
She still fell in that pit. But my point is, it makes me think that she's at least going to die and be eaten. Whether she's the pit girl or not, I don't know, but it does make me think she's going to die and be eaten, because they've mentioned two things about it in this episode. The girl says they need to get Kyle drunk and ask about Callie, who is standing there listening to this conversation. They aren't being very nice. And then, let's see, Ty's trying to talk to her son, who doesn't want to talk to her supposedly, but maybe her wife saying that. I don't know. Do you think he really doesn't want to talk to her, or do you think she's just trying to keep him from her?
I think it's just pointing that this is all we get.
That's true.
We don't get any Simone. We don't get any, scenes with them, with Simone, with Sammy, with Steve.
Yeah, I'd like to see more of them together.
I mean, I didn't like it so much that it was a one-sided phone call, even if like someone was talking on the phone on the other side.
Yeah, like we could have at least seen it.
Yeah.
Right. I agree.
Because Sammy was a creepy kid too, and I think that they should have gone with that a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't know, but then Sammy gave me too many Walt vibes, and because there's stuff
I
in Lost
haven't watched
made me think of.
Lost.
No, I know you haven't. I'm just saying that made me think of that. Like it was too similar with some of the stuff that was going on. They may just be like little red herrings to make people like us be like, it's like Lost, but it has nothing
Yeah.
to do with it.
Thank God I haven't.
Um, but at any rate, she doesn't look good because she got,
Mm-mm.
you
Got the
drunk as
cancer.
yeah, because she has cancer and she went
Mhm.
and get drunk. I think this might be where she says something about, are you're worried about a fatty liver because you were talking about the foie gras and I
Oh
said,
yeah, okay. A
I think
fatty
this
liver.
is where she said it because she says about drinking in the
Mhm.
middle of the day isn't good. And she's like, you're worried about your liver. So I don't know that that had anything to do with that. But when you said that it was fatty liver, it
Yeah.
made me think of
Mhm.
that.
Good
She
spot.
signed it. Yeah, she signed a DNR. I don't know what the other papers were she had. I was trying to. I had missed what it was. The other stuff she gave her.
Mhm. All
But
this stuff to help her pay, but I help her pay for her medical bills, but at the same time, don't Ty and Van not really have that much cash flow right now?
yeah, I
And
don't
what's
know, but
Ty doing?
I'm not so sure. But even so, if she does it, I guess it kind of matters. If Van doesn't have a family and she can't pay it off, like if she dies, does it
Mhm.
really? I don't know why
Yeah,
she
I
would
guess it
necessarily
doesn't really
pay,
matter.
pay her bills. But either way,
Mhm.
she signed an NDR. And she's saying that she doesn't know why they can't. Ty says she doesn't know why they can't be together. Now, I had missed this the first time I watched it. I think I had walked out of the room when this was on because I didn't see it. I see you. You see me, Susie. What? I missed something. Let's see.
Why
Susie's
can't they be together? They can't be together because Ty's married and has a kid.
yeah.
You
Susie says, I
forgot
think
about it.
Maury is going to team up with Ben and create the spiky pit. They aren't the same person as the one being drained because they don't have holes.
I honestly think that Mari's another cup of hot cocoa and a box of MRE mac and cheese from joining Ben's team.
Yeah.
Because I would. If somebody gave you mac and cheese after all that, I'd be like, okay, I'm on your team, Ben.
Yeah, you got good food. I don't have to eat
Mm-hmm.
nasty deer and bear and
Just
squirrels and shit.
Shauna spit in it.
Yeah, exactly. She also thinks, I assume she means Melissa, Cutie Pie Blonde, will also
Mm-hmm.
get in some tip with Shauna and end up with Ben and Maury. And okay, you're talking
Mm-hmm.
about Lost. Good, yeah. That's good. That you the last one. She was the one in the chat. I know that said right away.
Yeah.
We were talking
Mm-hmm.
together. But I won't go on about Lost. I told you I wouldn't, so I wouldn't.
You
I
can
won't.
go on about Lost. I just haven't seen it.
No, I know. But yes, you're right, Susie. She may not. The person who is in the first episode that they show hanging up may not be Pit Girl just because there'd probably be holes in her. You are correct about that. Anyway, she says, you're married, but the point is, she also says that they couldn't be together because she tried to be straight for a while. Probably when she was trying to be the senator or whatever, and then she's like, you ditched me for that and the law degree, and she's like,
Mm-hmm.
the tragic joke is you ended up being married to a woman anyway, but you're still
Mm-hmm.
married.
But she dated women in college too, so she must have came back and then went in the closet for a while and then came back
I
out.
guess maybe when she first started all that, she did for a while. And let's see. Samuel says Sammy has good reason to be weird. He notices Ty's dark
Mm-hmm.
passenger. She's a bad influence. I would agree with that. And then Nanobotics. Stina says the end of episode 2, none of that matters because the sacrifice of the waiter cures her cancer. Okay. I had not thought of that. I guess it's a possibility. I don't know.
Well, she says she's in the urgent care for a really long time, but I think it's more like urgent care referred her to a ER, did the tests on her, and she found out.
Okay. See, I took that scene in a different way.
Okay.
I know we're not there yet, but I
Yeah.
took that she didn't even go. I think she totally lied because
Oh.
because Ty was saying in that scene, she asked Ty about the restaurant. She's like, "Oh yeah, it went good." And then she's like, "What about you?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, fine." Like I think she totally was lying. I don't even think she went to urgent care.
Yeah, it could go either way.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that, but that was what I thought. I automatically thought she was lying. Either
No,
way.
I thought she went to urgent care and they were like, maybe she said something about getting an infection because she had cancer, and then they were like, well, maybe you should go to an ER, and then the ER wouldn't find the cancer.
Yeah, and maybe she just didn't want to tell her all, what was going on.
Yeah.
Either
I
way,
mean,
she was
yeah,
lying
you're
about
right.
something,
Hmm.
I think.
Yeah.
So I lost where I was at. Um, yeah, okay. So that was their conversation and why
Hmm.
she won't be with Ty right now.
Yeah. I
I love
always
that
thought,
look on her face. Look at the look on her face, the way that captured.
yeah. I thought it was all more about status. Like she went to the Ivy League, and Van has a scar, and she's more like, get a beer and ice cream on the roof instead of something fancy. And I thought that's why Ty dumped her.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it definitely is saying that she tried to be straight for a while, but
Yeah. Hmm.
we don't know how long that lasted.
Yeah.
So then at the school is Callie, who orders from Swift Eats
Swifties.
from Randy. I have to say they must not have wanted to say like use a real thing like DoorDash and be
Delivering guts.
and to be connected to Delivery Guts. And I say that because Shauna mentions DoorDash later.
Yeah.
So clearly in this world there's a DoorDash, but they didn't want it connected to
So,
that.
so they are worried about Yellowjackets fans calling up DoorDash and asking for a bag of miscellaneous meats and guts.
Could be.
I mean, how do you get that anyway? Or is it just a Swift Eats thing? Like, is it on the menu?
I don't know.
Bag of guts.
Sometimes people do eat different organs and stuff, but unless it's like a place that orders like has like maybe it's like ordering from a grocery store, maybe, and maybe they have like a butcher there. That's the only thing I can think of how you would get guts delivered like that is if it came from a butcher. So maybe it's like actually
It's not wrapped or
grocery store.
anything.
No, it's just in a bag. I know, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, there are like sometimes grocery stores you can have them deliver, but I still wouldn't think they'd put guts in a bag. This is more for plot point. But at any rate, it's Randy. Randy's always like in the middle of everything. It's like I needed a job. So that's where
And then
he's working.
he had that NASA joke that
Yeah,
like
he
my
said I'm waiting for NASA's call.
yeah.
Yeah. So Shauna, after this, let's see. I have a couple pictures of him. She takes guts, and then Shauna's looking through her room for her drugs, but really only so she can smoke it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
I thought they gave the impression that she was I thought they gave you the impression that she was just gonna take them and throw them away or something, and so she lights one up.
Yeah.
Because she's the worst.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, I don't think we're gonna get through both episodes by 1:30. This is what I was afraid of.
Give it a little college try.
Yeah, well, no, we'll try. Just we're like really far behind. So
Well, there was also a book on her shelf called Lost in the Wilderness or Lost in the Barrens.
Oh, was there?
By Farley Mowat, and it's about the Canadian wilderness.
Oh, that's cool. No, I didn't see that. I didn't know that. But anyway, her school calls and talks to her. That also happened there. Okay, so Travis is getting high. Lottie is mixing stuff for him to get high, the mushrooms for him to get high. And he's like, I feel everything and nothing. You ever notice how everything and nothing are both filled with things?
Yeah.
That was funny.
That's kind of like he talked at June coming.
Yeah. I've said every time I see this scene that I would never, if I was them, any of them in that place, get high with those girls around because they're like to kill them and eat them. I would be afraid to. But he starts.
Think you're a stag.
Yeah, they might. But he starts hearing the trees screaming. But they also have a conversation where she says she tried to talk to Shauna, and Shauna told her that seeing a shrink doesn't make you a shrink. And she says that, she took medicine to stop seeing things. And when she got there, she started seeing things again. And then he hears the tree scream. And then I don't know. Do you think Lottie just is trying to find anybody that's connecting to nature? Like it doesn't necessarily need to be him.
I don't know. Maybe she has a bigger game plan.
I don't know, but she's pushing it.
I mean, she isn't hearing the wilderness, so maybe she's trying to latch on to the people that do and get some message. And there also in the closed captioning it said baby crying, which made me think of Chana's baby. It was
Yeah,
screaming, baby
it's
crying.
not till the later scene, but yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I wish that they'd put AA saying that they should print Shauna's journal on a website for us to
Oh
read. That
yeah.
would be awesome. That would be really
The
awesome.
rantings. Shauna's ranting.
Yeah. Let's see. They were talking in the chat about okay, Samuel wants to know who Sammy's dad. Well, I assume the mother is one of them, but I guess
Mhm.
it could not be. But wants to know about his parents. And they're
Mhm.
also talking about the thing with Van and is she cancer free or not?
Mhm.
The Ali Slenderman, they're all the same.
I
Her
thought, I
outfit, the funeral, and outfit of the waiter and the yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't really pay that much attention to it.
Yeah.
Um,
I thought it was weird that Titus let her go to urgent care with a cut in her foot.
yeah. I mean, if it's a deep cut, I would think that she wouldn't be able to walk to. I guess it depends how
Or
deep it
drive.
is. Yeah, or drive. Good point. I think it was on her left foot though,
Mm.
so she at least could drive probably,
Mhm.
but walk around, I don't know. But anyway, he covers the pit. He puts a piece of his protein bar as food for an animal to get, and I think it was kind of obvious something was going to happen there.
Mhm.
And then Shauna and Jeff talk about Callie and that she got suspended because she threw entrails on those girls, and he questions could they be human entrails? And she keeps eating as they're having this
For
conversation.
Swift eats.
Yeah, from Swifties, yeah. And he's just basically saying that a lot of shit's happened to Callie and that it's possible she's not okay. And then he smells she was smoking his chronic. And then she's like, you got to stop calling it that because Callie yelled at her for calling it that. So she yells at him. So yeah, that was just what that scene was about. And then at the restaurant, I'm curious I mean, I know it's the name of the restaurant, but that Pass Dame or however you pronounce it.
I know what it means.
What does it mean? Because I
With
wondered.
without a soul or
Interesting.
soulless.
Interesting.
I wonder what that red smear is.
Fancy plates, just fancy plating. I don't know. They do that a lot at restaurants like that.
Covered with cotton candy with a smear of blood on the plates.
Yeah, it probably is meant to look like blood, but yeah. First of all, okay, why would you put candy over meat? That just sounds gross.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'm wondering why Ty went from a vegetarian that was spitting out meat to all the way over on the other side of this like inhumane preparation of foie gras, which they force feed ducks for a fatty liver. And it reminded me of Secession when they were having that bunting bird scene. I don't know if you ever watched Secession.
No, I didn't.
But it's about rich people again, but it's like people who would take these songbirds and force feed them and then drown the birds and then fry them, and then you were supposed to wear a towel over your head in shame as you ate them because it was such a horrific preparation of an animal. And foie gras is kind of the same. And it's weird how she went from vegetarianism to like inhumane animal preparation, and it's banned, like foie gras is banned a lot of places.
Yeah, I
Rich
don't know.
people
I
food.
assumed she became a vegetarian because of what happened to her in the woods. But yes, that is kind of strange that she would now eat this. The only thing I can think is maybe they just wanted it to be something fancy and didn't think about the fact that people would realize it was meat. I don't know.
I thought maybe that it was dark Thai. I almost thought that she decided to go to this restaurant and have the duck's liver around cotton candy.
I don't know. Maybe it might also maybe is foreshadowing that the duck's going to get it, and I'm going to be upset if it does. They kill enough animals on the show. Quit killing.
It's probably the rabbits that will get it before the duck.
I don't want to see the rabbits get it either. Look, I get they got to eat meat.
They're not going to keep those as pets, Jamie. I almost got Julie.
I know. Well, the duck, they could be eating the eggs, so they might keep the duck. But yeah, the rabbits, I don't think they have rabbits as pets in this show.
There were some rabbit lovers that were like, oh, they're holding the rabbit the wrong way. And I thought, they're probably not holding the rabbit the wrong way if they're going to use it for food.
No, but they might mean like from a standpoint of as using it in a show, they should be holding it right so it doesn't hurt it. But
yeah.
might just be the way they filmed it. It could also, to be fair, it could also be not a real rabbit when they're holding
Yeah,
it.
that's true. I thought
Um,
about that too.
yeah, a lot of times it's not, because
Mm.
usually they'll have, wranglers and
Mhm.
PETA people and all that. They make sure it's done the right way.
Yeah, yeah.
It's also interesting that guy says that this is meant to be taken in one bite.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah, a
Um,
little square and everything.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
probably like, a $30 plate.
it probably is. Yeah. I know sometimes when I've gone to press, I mean, we haven't had anything like this, but when I've
Mhm.
gone to press tours, they've had like fancy food and it's always like stuff like, it's not that, but I mean,
Mhm.
stuff that looks fancy like that. And usually it's stuff that does not, at least to me, does not taste good. It's usually like fancy and it means it tastes like shit, at least in my opinion. Except for, I can't even think of now what it is. What's the dessert that you had that you break the caramel on the top of the
Oh, crème brûlée?
creme brulee? They
Yeah.
had all these creme brulee, a lot of creme brulee at the one thing. I found out I love creme brulee.
Mhm. It's great. It's
It's
delicious.
hard to get. You don't usually get a lot of it, and they had them like on little sample spoons, and you
Mm.
could take as much as you wanted. I remember I kept going back and getting like multiple servings of this expensive creme brulee. It was funny.
Yeah,
Well, I
I
thought it was
used to make it because you can get a little, like, culinary torch and torch the top.
yeah, yeah. Once I did actually have it in a restaurant once. We went to this Italian restaurant and they gave like a little because when I found out they had it, I'm like, I want that. It was like a little almost like a glass little Tupperware thing that was filled with creme brulee. It was good.
Mhm.
Anyway, we're getting off track. Sorry, people.
A little
Um, yeah, just a little bit. So this is where Van says, "Don't you want to take a flamethrower to this place?" And that's where you're saying maybe that means she burned down the cabin.
Yeah, with or without dark tie.
Yeah, which I think is a good pickup. I didn't notice that until you said that. But they're just gonna go get pizza and ice cream. And then they decide to
Yeah.
leave without paying for the food. I like this music here. I don't know what the first music is before the I think we're alone now. I don't think it's part of that song, but I like the
Mhm.
music. But
I like
yeah,
the fact they mentioned a woman named Amber Nutting.
yeah, yeah, I do have that written down. Her name, I
What a
figured it
name.
was. It is a weird name. I think I kept thinking though, why didn't Van leave first? Because if they get caught, she doesn't have the. I assumed Ty had the money, and I'm like, but
Yeah.
anyway, they run out after. Well, first they have their part of their dinner.
I
She's
thought
like,
I thought it was a scene that was kinda like the scene when Shauna tried to get booze when she was with Adam.
oh, kind of,
It was
yeah, kind of
kinda
parallel
like,
a little bit. All
we
right.
weren't teenagers, we're gonna be teenagers now.
Yeah, and they run off, and the waiter comes out and he's calling after him. You forgot to pay. It's like, yeah, sure, they forgot.
Mhm.
But they run across the street, and this guy pulls him back, and he has a heart attack.
Well,
Now,
there was, like, 2 things I was gonna say. 1, 2 people I know have watched this scene, and they both said the same thing to me, even though they don't watch Yellowjackets. A waiter would never run that far after customers.
no, because the waiter doesn't pay, isn't the one that cares that it's their
Yeah.
money, probably.
And then I thought
Um,
the scene was a sign of great writing because normal writers that are just okay would just have the bus hit him, but great writers will have the bus not hit him, and then he'll have a heart attack.
yeah, no, it was a good scene, but
Mhm.
whether that means that it was him instead of Van, and now Van's okay, according to what they were saying in the chat, I don't
Mhm.
know. It's an
She
interesting
passed her
thought.
death to him.
Yeah, maybe we were talking about Final Destination earlier.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll have to find out. But it was interesting scene at any rate.
Mhm.
And I said they had "Think We're Alone Now" as a song that's
Mhm.
playing.
And they had all those quick, like, music video cuts, which was again
Yeah,
enjoyed.
yeah. And they also have "Glycerin" by Bush, but they kiss. And then
Mhm.
this is where Ty. I didn't have a picture, but I thought I did. Where Ty sees the guy without the eyes when
Mhm.
she looks up.
Yeah.
And then we go to the solstice dinner, and this is where Shauna spits. We kind of talked about this. She
So
spits
gross.
in
So
Tari.
much spit too.
Maury.
It's so
Yeah,
gross.
yeah. It looks like she really spit. Spits in her soup. Maury dumps it out. Then she smashes her face into the food on the
Well, Shauna
ground.
also lies about the soup too. Like, I would never lie. I'm
Yeah,
insulted.
like at least say yes, I spit. Right? She could have at least said that.
Yeah, at
But
least Mari's honest in her bitchiness. That's what Sean's
yeah,
supposed to
true,
be
true,
innocent.
true. But this is where Natalie's like, okay, then you're both gonna go in your huts or
Mhm,
whatever she says, your shelters for a week.
mhm.
And Maury gets upset. She really didn't do anything to deserve it. So
She didn't really do any physical things like bite or spit like Shauna did.
Yeah, like she should have just made Shauna eat it. That's my opinion. Made Shauna give her food, made her eat her own
Yeah,
spit.
eat her
It's
own
her own damn
spit.
fault. That's what
Everybody
I.
happy.
Yeah. And they ought to, like you said, or we said earlier, though, I do think that if they're that starving, probably, I'm kind of surprised they'd waste the food. They must be getting a lot of meat there.
It seems like they have a lot of abundance.
Yeah, now they're not worried about it. It's not a plot point anymore. So Misty comes into the bar. Sorry, you can stop me. I'm just trying to move a little bit faster so we do try to get done by 1:30 or 2.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, we can take our time and see where we're at, unless you need to go.
No, I don't need to go quite that early. I know you said you wanted to leave, so I was trying to give them through a little bit.
Because I want to know what happened. Maybe stoking the fire at the cabin helped them to get abundance, because in wintertime they didn't have animals. But in summertime now they have everything. So maybe it was fire.
Unless it was like right at the end of summer or right at the end of winter. And for some reason the chat was stuck. I don't know why. I'm suddenly now seeing we got a lot of messages.
Oh.
Let me put a couple of the things up because I did not see them before. Susie said the trees are screaming because of the vents from a mine. That
maybe.
could be a possibility.
Yeah, the mine theory has always been a very popular one.
Yeah, or at that moment it could have just been because he was high. But later, I don't know. They started to trip out when they had the tiniest fires. I don't know where they got like non-flammable rice paper, but okay. I'm like, the when they floated the things. Yeah, the lanterns. She's talking about the abandoned mines. They're down there. Let's see.
They could have just made lanterns out of book pages too. There's been enough.
Yeah, they could have burnt books.
Are we at that yet? We're not at the lantern scene yet.
We're not.
Okay.
But I was that's why I'm kind of going through some of it. I didn't realize that's what it was about.
Okay.
Let's see. Then they're talking about Lost. About Lost. About the Spice Girls. I don't know where that
Spice Girls.
Wait. No, maybe that. Yeah, I think that's about Spice Girls. Ginger says Lost, Ginger Spice. I don't know. I missed something there. About Samuel, the cotton candy and foie gras seems like a nasty combination. That's my point. Meat and candy, ew. That does not sound good to me. Not that I want to eat foie gras anyway, now that I know what it is, but yeah. More about Sawyer, Juliet. Yeah, that's all Lost stuff, which I appreciate. I'm just skipping the Lost stuff since we're moving.
You can indulge in it if you want.
Well, no, I just mean I don't know that it's going to add anything to what we're saying, because a lot of it's about Lost. Now they're talking about Sawyer and about Juliet and like I said, about the Spice Girls somewhere in there. Oh, which characters they like. Yeah, that's not really going to help us. But I do appreciate it. I do love Lost, so I do appreciate it. Where did this Shauna and Mari imaginary beef come from? I'm with Mari on this one. The imaginary beef.
Oh, you mean like beef like fight, not like beef like meat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know.
They meant actual beef. I was like, imaginary beef?
Yeah, I was like, I think there was venison in that. I think that was the point. We had talked about that earlier. We think that maybe it's jealousy over her being friends with
Jackie.
Let's see. It's Susie's saying they have plants. They're in a forest. They're like breeding rabbits, and ducks have the best eggs. Yeah, I'm sure the rabbits are for food. I'm not saying they're not. I would just like to not see that. Personally, I don't like seeing them kill animals. I get it already. They can kill each other. Just don't kill the animals. That's all we say. I'm just teasing. So Misty goes into the bar.
I think this is like my favorite scene.
Is it really? She makes some jokes about tax season.
Oh, Christina Ricci doesn't eat it. She doesn't eat. No, she's just like, what'd she say? Like, it's not tax season. You can do taxes early, but not this early, right?
This early, yeah. She was going to get an espresso martini, and instead she orders a whiskey because she's trying to be like Natalie.
She's got the eyeliner, but still the cat sweatshirt.
I didn't notice the eyeliner. Yeah, she's got her.
It's like Juliette Lewis eyeliner, yeah.
That's funny. I thought it was interesting that there's a I can't think of what it's called now, but the British flag. Not Jolly Roger. I tell you, my brain doesn't work at nighttime. But you know what I mean. There's a British flag there at any rate.
I'm not sure what that flag is. It almost looks
Yeah,
like a
I
native
was
flag
trying
or
to think of the
something.
name of. There's like a slang name, and all I could think is Jolly Roger for some reason, which is
Yeah, I
not that.
understand. I understand.
Jack, I don't know. Somebody
I
will
love
probably
this
tell me.
guy too, this old guy that just raises his
Yeah,
glasses.
he was
He
just like
does that
watching
damn
him.
straight.
The other thing is that somebody said, and I don't know that it's true or not because I don't remember, but somebody said that's the guy that took Shauna's van.
Oh, I don't know. I would have
I'd
to
have
check the names in
I'd have
IMDb.
to go back and look at the
Yeah, I don't
uh
know.
they're talking about, let's see. They're really scared of Shauna because you watch the scene, people see Shauna spit in the soup. They're ridiculous. Union Jack. That's what I was trying to think of. Union Jack. Thank
Okay,
you.
yeah, okay.
My stupidity was bad there. I just could not for the life of me
It
think of
looks
it.
like a naval version of that though. Like a
Yeah,
naval.
it's a little different than usually. Well, this is the Union Jack part. The
Yeah,
rest
with the
of it's like,
stripes.
yeah, I'm not sure about the stripes, but anyway, he gives her whiskey. She drinks 7 shots.
A real
I've been
whiskey.
watching so much, Severance. Like I write down numbers and shit. She took 7 shots of real whiskey, and he stops her from continuing to drink it because clearly she's getting drunk because she drinks it that fast. And
You know what real whiskey is?
no,
It's like the bottom shelf whiskey they used to mix drinks with. It's not
oh, so
good.
it's the shit
It's
whiskey.
shitty. Yeah, it's shitty whiskey.
He probably figures this girl doesn't drink whiskey, so I'll give her the shittiest, cheapest
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. And charge her regular for it. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't drink whiskey, so I wouldn't know. But
I
this
do.
guy tells her that that the jacket's cool, and she's drunk, and she's like acts like he's being nasty, which he's not. She's like, I know I don't look like someone you need to worry about, but I'm trouble. I've lit dicks on
On
fire.
fire.
Which is an awesome line. And they're like, they laugh at her, and she dumps alcohol on him and picks up the can. Oh, I need a match.
That's what I'd say. The scene just rocks.
So yeah, that was funny. That was a good scene. She's like, "Don't touch my jacket," and then she sort of. No, I don't know if she passed out or just fell, but she stumbles.
Yeah, she kind of falls against the wall.
Yeah.
And then the guy yells security, like one of the guys in the pool is like security.
Yeah, and they didn't arrest her or anything. They just called somebody for her, which was nice that they didn't cause problems. Because we find that out later. Now I have okay, I'm not sure what this note was about. It must have been about somebody watching Shauna because I wondered if it was this person who may or may not be a new blackmailer, that tape that Callie got. I don't know if it had already happened or I just had the thought in the middle of watching it. I don't know.
I think it happens in the next episode.
Yeah, it might be. It's very possible.
It happens way at the end.
Yeah, I probably just when I was watching because I'd already seen it, I just suddenly thought of it and typed it up. But anyway,
it's gonna happen about 15 minutes from here, I think.
Yeah. Oh well. But anyway, she's homeschooling her right now because she's suspended, and they talk about the teapot dome scandal, which I kind of wondered and looked up because she said the teapot fell from the dome of the Capitol when the workers were having tea and almost killed Trump. And the thing that's hilarious is she goes, "No, it was Warren Hardy." That has nothing to do with what that means. So I don't think that she knew what it was either.
Yeah, it's about private oil reserves.
Yeah, because I looked it up, and it's about them giving them a deal. And
the biggest scandal since Watergate, or before Watergate.
Yeah. Misty out there on some Jim Beam talking about crotch in your burn.
Crotch in your burn. I love it. She's like, fracking crotch in your burn.
That's funny. And then you're talking about the flag still. All right. So yeah, there she said Tibetan. Later he said it's Hawaii. So I don't know. It was a different flag under the Union Jack. So anyway, she's like, if you want to drive again, you're going to do your schoolwork. You shouldn't have got freaking suspended. And this is where she thinks that she's like, why did you do this? And she's like, I'm not damaged or psychotic. They were just bullying me. So I'm like, screw them. They were saying you guys were doing, crazy sex stuff. And she wanted to teach them a lesson, which I love because they're so worried that they've damaged her. And she's like, no, they were bitches. Which granted, she shouldn't have done what she did. But I mean, don't we all wish that we could have done something like that to bitchy girls in high school?
Yeah, it's funny. It's a prank. It's not harming anyone.
It's not harming anybody, but you still would get suspended.
Back at someone. Well, yeah. They're
But
clean fun.
it's just one of those things like, you wish you could do in a way.
Yeah.
So yeah, she took the bag of food. She shows her the video that she dumped it. She's like, my mom packed my lunch. I have too much. That looks like spaghetti sauce to me.
I thought she was gonna dump it right on their heads, so she
I
just gonna
thought so
dump
too.
it on
Yeah,
the
she
table.
was actually kind of didn't do too much because she did that, and her mother like laughs and loves it, so that's great. She just not yelling at her for doing it at least. So Misty's walking, and Walter pushes up, or pulls up, and this is again where it's really sad, and I feel bad for her still because as much as she's crazy, Walter's telling her, he's picking her up because the bar called him, and she's like, "Oh, my friends will come get me." And he's like, "No, they called everybody on your contacts list until they got to W. Although why she has him under his first name is beyond me. But
maybe some people do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what you always see, though, when you see the phone calls coming in. It just says Shauna. It doesn't say Shauna Sadecki.
Right, but if they went through her phone contacts, I would think it'd have to be by their last name. But anyway, the point is they didn't. I forget, what is his last name.
Tinsdale, Walter Tinsdale.
So it would have still Tattersall or something. Anyway, it still would have been after them alphabetically, or after Shauna. Anyway, that's what I was trying to say. So he's saying nobody answered, and I think he's trying to get her to see these people are not really your friends. They use you, but she doesn't seem to see. It's just kind of sad. But he gets out and he hugs her and is trying to help her. And then Callie is making ice cream when she gets there's the package. It's got the symbol. I didn't get a close up of it. I thought I did. They got the symbol in the corner. It's got Shauna's name on. She takes the tape out of the package and hides it. Why, I don't know.
I don't know either. I had that in my notes. Why take it?
Yeah, I mean, clearly this is not the same blackmailer because it's not her. Well, at least we hope it's not her father doing it again. I tend to think this might be Melissa. I don't know. We don't know what's on the tape. Yeah, I don't know though how she would even play the tape because we were having a discussion earlier. It is like a Super 8 or a High 8 or something like that tape. So I don't know how she would play it. Let's see. They did it. Okay. Yeah, that's
just scaring the crap out of her.
Yeah. But yeah, she hides it from her father, and her father's like, go to bed, basically. And then we have the solstice celebration where they are putting out the candles and lighting them. And now they do mention, I know you mentioned this to me, that they mentioned 3 people, and yet they have 5 lanterns. They show 3 graves at the beginning, so it's kind of interesting. I agree with your question. Who are the other 2?
I thought it was Laura Lee and Crystal. I think there's something missing from the scene because why wouldn't Lottie mention Laura Lee? She was almost like a spiritual guide to her. And why wouldn't Crystal be mentioned unless she isn't real?
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting that they have 5 lanterns.
Yeah. Because she says that we still hear them and feel them. They haven't gone. They've just returned to the place that waits for all of us. They call Javi from the wilderness or something like that to watch over us, Jackie to guide us, and the child to deliver us. Now, why do they not have a name? Did she not name the kid is the other thing.
Yeah, that was one of my questions as well. Yeah, I don't, or it had any scene where somebody said, what are you going to name the child?
Even before it was born. That's a good point. And then they hear the trees screaming, or a sound that's like when he heard the trees screaming. And this is where it says in the credits that there's a baby crying.
There's a baby crying, yeah. Because it's interesting to me because I first thought maybe they didn't mention Laura Lee and Crystal because they were more innocent, but then I thought the child would be innocent. And then I was trying to figure out any other way that they would or maybe Laura Lee escaped the wilderness because she drove, she flew over it.
Well, that's true. They do say they're in the wilderness. I don't know. The only thing I can think is the other 2 they ate. They didn't eat the baby, but they ate.
See, I thought about that as well.
They ate Javi, unless because she has the baby. They couldn't have eaten the baby. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah, they better not. That would be gross. Not that the other stuff isn't gross, but you know what I mean. But no, they don't mention them, and that is kind of strange. I mean, it maybe for the whatever the ceremony is, she only wanted 3. I don't know, but there are babies. It sounds like babies crying. At least that's what the captions say. So I don't know if that's actually something they're hearing or not. And this is when Travis, she said, Lisa said to Travis, "Is this what you heard?" And then "I Will Survive" by Cake starts playing. The scene where he says weird stuff isn't yet. That's later. Let's see.
But see, like Lottie was having visions of Laura Lee even when she was an adult. It just seems weird that she's not included.
Yeah, Laura Lee affects mostly her. Crystal wasn't close with her, and the other 3 are direct to Shauna. She's trying to trigger her the same way she is with Travis, and it isn't the first time she has. That's a possibility. They are all.
Well, they're all people that died.
Yeah, they're all people that I don't know. It's just kind of weird, but it does seem like Sean is kind of the one that has lost the most right now. So I don't know. But anyway, we don't know. We don't have an answer to that. But as this is happening, this is where later they say maybe that noise was Maury being eaten. They say in the next one. Coach got something. He trapped something, but it's Maury who fell and knocked her knee out of whatever you call it, a joint. And that's the end of this episode.
She'll survive.
Yep. She will survive.
She will survive.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's a song too. I never heard. I don't think I've heard that version before. I'm not sure why
it's Cake's version.
Yeah. I mean, the original version may not have been from the 90s, though. I don't know.
No, it's from like the 70s.
Yeah, so that might be why they played a remake. I don't know.
Well, they are big 90s, so they probably picked a version of the 90s.
Yeah. And yeah, you could be right, Susie. Maybe she's trying to trigger her and, I don't know, make her see things too. I mean, she's trying to get Travis to see things and cause issue. All right, I want to close out this. I got to open my other file here, and then we'll only have. Now we are nearing 9 o'clock, so if you do need to go, just tell me. I can always try. Nearing 1 o'clock. What did I say?
It's 9 o'clock. I was like,
no, nearing 1 o'clock. That's why I was trying to. We'll see how far we get. This one doesn't have quite as much to talk about, though, so I think we should.
I have half the notes that I had from the first one.
Yeah, it wasn't. Well, the premieres usually have more. To be fair. I did not take anywhere near as many pictures, so I apologize for that, but it took longer than I expected, and we were having the watch party. So, all right. So
can I do some promoing? Oh, okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Cherry Bomb. I skipped talk about Cherry Bomb. That was in the bar. I had it written. I just didn't say it. That's a good song.
That's a great song.
Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, I told you before. Just interrupt me if you want to talk. Otherwise,
that's okay. I was just waiting for a pause. That's fine.
No, it's okay.
And
Go
I
ahead.
thought we were in the middle, and without pictures. So I was going to say that if for the Severance fans out there, and I know there's Yellowjackets fans, there are also Severance fans. Me and Julie B from Julie D's Deep Dives is going to be reviewing episode 5. I do believe Trojan's Horse on Monday at 10 p.m. EST. Or 10:15 p.m. EST, around there. On Wednesday, we will have a From conversation of the first episode of from the second season, around 10 p.m. EST. And we'll be having a Severance watch party in Julie's Discord. I don't know if we can actually put a link up, but that will be roughly at 9 p.m. EST and Julie B Deep Dive Discord. My brain's not functioning.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you have the link, you can type it. I don't care, but I don't have it with me, so you don't.
I don't have a link.
That's why I made my. But see, that's why I made. I don't even think I pinned my thing, did I? I never even pinned it. I'm gonna put I'll put mine in the chat because I didn't pin it before. I had created a shortcut for that reason, so I didn't have to keep finding it. I made it at my domain, SciFi Vision or Discord.SciFi Vision. But yeah, since you did yours, I'll promo my stuff too real quick.
Okay.
We already did our Severance breakdown. If people want to watch ours as well, you should watch all of them. They're all great. Mine and yours and Julie's. But this was from me and Karen. We did yesterday. That is up on Sci-Fi Vision's YouTube on the live tab. And we have Tuesdays, we have our kind of weekly review show that's kind of different shows. We're talking about Paradise right now. And that's on Tuesdays at 10. Our Severance one is Saturdays at 9. And for the Severance one, we also do watch parties. We have tons of watch parties, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing I wanted to mention, if you haven't checked it out, please go to our YouTube. It's under the live tabs because we premiered it live. Is our interview with Sydney Cole Alexander, who plays Natalie in Severance. So that is also up. You can check out. And of course, there's playlists that have linked all our From coverage and Severance coverage and all that good stuff because there's a lot of From interviews as well. So that's all at our YouTube. And also, I never remember to put my socials up, but also check out scifivision.com for all the interviews that are not on video and everything else. It's all there. So yeah. And please like and subscribe while you're here. All right. Yeah, I'm not good at remembering to promo things. I never do.
I was trying to do it at the top of the hour.
Yeah, no, we should do more often. And also, if you want to, I was going to say, thank you, Susie. I appreciate it. If you want to take, I know we're kind of rushing through it. That's why I didn't know if we should stop to take call-ins. But if somebody has something they really want to say,
yeah, if anybody wants to call in.
Okay, I'll put it up. I just didn't want to go so we go longer, but I'll add the.
Well, the second one's going to go a little faster, so
it will.
At least
so there, if somebody wants to chime in, I put the link there. Just, I think right now, as long as you've been talking to us in the chat and we know you're actually watching it, that's good. If you don't and you're new and we don't know who you are, please tell us so we know that you're a real person, not a spammer, and not going to post porn pictures like we had before. That's why I always say, tell us you're going to call in before you do. But yeah, this episode will go faster. I agree. So, I should put that at the bottom anyway because it covers up that horrible Windows.
Yeah.
It's that's right. I forgot it was your birthday, Susie. Sorry. Happy birthday.
Oh, it is your birthday proper. Well, she's been saying it's her birthday for like a week now.
Well, I think the other day she said it was a couple days from then. So yeah, happy birthday. All right. So, and I was going to say we might be getting more Severance interviews, and I'm trying to get Yellowjackets as well. So we'll see how that all goes, and I'll let people know if we do. All right. So, where did I? Okay, I lost what I was doing. Okay, so picture. Where's my picture? Okay, so I don't know why I have that at the beginning. Did I not take it of Coach? The thing I have that it starts out with Coach.
She fell in the pit.
Yeah, she fell in the pit. He's telling her not to yell. She's screaming, and he's like, "Pull it together. Your knees dislocated. You have to pop it back in place." And she doesn't want to do it. And he starts telling her that she's gonna cut off her circulation if she doesn't. And he just kind of says stuff to her to get her to fix it. Because he's like, I can't come down there and help you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Sorry, guys. I don't have as many pictures this time, so I probably just stopped it, or skipped it. But I do at least have stuff to talk about. So we hear a voiceover, multiple voiceovers kind of overlapping about the baby. And we hear Shauna talking to him. What she said before. Yeah, what the hell? Did I skip the whole? I must have skipped the whole beginning of it. Anyway, I don't know what I did with the picture, so I missed that part of the scene. But at any rate, Shauna is, I guess she's moving him. Is that what it is? She's supposed to be continually moving his burial?
Carrying around her dead child.
Okay, because I wasn't sure if she was carrying it to carry it and rebury it, or if she's burying it in a different location so they can't find it. It wasn't super clear because I thought it was supposed to be that she was, she was holding it, but I thought she was moving it. Because later when she yells at her, it's her baby and everything, I thought that it was kind of like she was trying to hide it. Maybe she's afraid they're going to eat it. I don't know. But at any rate, she's moving the baby around, which isn't healthy. And it just kind of, you hear them talking about the baby from before. And they talk about the sounds they heard the night before. And this is where somebody, I don't know who, because I I didn't put, but somebody says that what if that sound was something eating Mari? And that's why I said again, I think she's going to get killed and eaten, whether she's the pit girl or not. I don't know, but I think she's going to die.
Well, what are the odds it's another pit?
Well, no, I'm saying she could die in some completely different.
Yeah, she might die. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to die in the wilderness.
Yeah, but either way, that's the second time they've mentioned something to do with eating. Because, like I said, when they're looking for her, although I think that's later, I don't think that's yet. She says, who is it? Ty, I think, says, or not Ty. Van says, "Piggy, piggy," and they talked earlier, those girls, about them eating pigs and smearing their blood. Those girls talked about earlier. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's foreshadowing. Shauna
not
will
my
not.
Mari. Never mind Mari.
Yeah, never mind Mari.
I love Mari.
The girl on the left is the pit girl. She could be. I mean, you're right, Susie. I mean,
oh yeah, it could be Jen.
Jen looks like she could be. It's really hard to tell. Somebody with dark hair, but you know, maybe some of them. Well, I guess by now all their hairs would be grown out, and we would know if they had different coverage since they did that with Natalie. So they must not be more dark haired. So Shauna won't help look for her because she's still pissed. Travis wants to go because he knows the woods. He asks, he's like, "Can I go with you?" But Lottie doesn't want him to go because she wants to make him take drugs again.
Yep.
Get him high with those mushrooms. And she's like, "You're connecting with it. You have to keep going." But he's the sensible one and wants to help find her. But she's like, "What's happening is bigger than any of them." So I think he does go with her. I can't remember for sure. I think he goes with her.
Yeah, he does.
And then Shauna is bringing Jeff, I don't know if it's a drink or something she made, and she wants
smoothie with some blueberries on top of it. Look kind of gross.
Yeah. She wants things to get back to normal and put her family first again. So she says, how long that will last, I don't know, but that's what she says. And he says it's good timing because of the dinner they have tonight, which he clearly has forgotten about. That they're meeting these people that want to turn his store into a boutique hotel, and they need to land that contract. So he wants them to go to dinner and it to all go well. And he thinks she's just trying to make up an excuse to not do it, but she says she's not. Then somebody is at the door, and it's Lottie, and she's basically. And these are my shorter summaries. I did the first one a lot longer. My shorter summary is she's basically like, "Hell no, you're not coming in."
I like that she called her a goop sorceress.
Yes, I have that marked down. She's like, I just want, when she finally lets her in, she's like, because she says, "Take your shit and get off my lawn." And
I like the way she kind of looks at Shauna's house too, like, "Oh, this is where you live."
Yeah, I know. I noticed that.
But I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Do you think that Lottie's lying about having no money?
So
she's gonna be close to Callie?
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, like, yes, they may have shut down her place, but she would still own it. It's not like they can take it away and say we're sending the money someplace. So yeah, I never thought about that, but you could be right. She could totally be lying. But right now,
or it could just shut down the whole compound and all her students left, and she has no money. But it's like really hard for me to believe that.
Yeah. Well, at any rate, they'd have to give it back to her at some point. So even if she doesn't have money right now, she will at some point, because she would still own the property and everything that she owned, unless it was like a communally owned thing, which I don't think it was supposed to be. I'm going to tell people here that we're still going. So maybe we'll get some more. I try to remember to repost social media, and I'm not the best at trying to remember why we're talking. But so anyway, she tells her she wants her off the lawn, and then she after is like, but basically she basically lets her come in because that's what she says, that she doesn't want people seeing something like a goop princess standing around or something like that. Goop sorcerer. Sorry, I don't know where I got princess from. But yeah, which is funny. I'm not sure exactly what the goop refers to, but it's funny.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, okay.
Like her website Goop.
I was thinking.
You know Jade Eggs? Do you know Jade Eggs?
Do I know what?
Gwyneth Paltrow the Hawk's jade eggs to put in inside of her, and also candles that smell like a part of her body.
No, yeah, I've heard of the goop stuff. I don't. The other thing, I'm not sure. I haven't heard. I haven't read a bunch about it or anything, but I thought that meant like more goop, like not actual brand goop, but just goop. But
Oh,
anyway,
I totally thought it was one the new age stuff that Gwyneth
yeah,
Paltrow
you're
has.
probably right. You could definitely be right. Could be making fun of her, but that's funny. I never would have picked up on that. But she lets her in, and she basically says that they couldn't keep her except for the whatever it is 28 hour or 48 hours psychiatric hold, because she says that and Shauna's like, you tried to kill me, and she says that they can't keep her locked up based on her faith, and that she's not unwell. And she says that Callie shouldn't have been there, but then she blames Jeff for bringing Callie. Like it's all their fault that she tried to kill Shauna, right? And they're trying to get her to leave. And there's this comment here I noticed that I didn't write it down, but at one point when Callie comes out and saying they should let her stay, she says something to her mother. Maybe you remember what the exact quote is, but she says something like that she acts like someone
who needs to call a manager.
Yeah, demands to talk to a manager. Because later when she's on the phone with the restaurant, she like whispers when she asks to talk to the manager. Not whispers, low, because she's like knows that she's right. She does do that.
I like when Jeff said, "Isn't there a people person futon she could crash on?"
Yeah. Oh, a people person. I thought he said
purple person. Purple person futon.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what I thought. Maybe that was referencing like purple mattresses, but I didn't get the joke. But
the heliotrope cult that she had, where everybody wore purple.
Oh, purple. Okay, yeah.
People, like Christina Rich's character Misty calls them the purple people.
Yeah. I was thinking of the purple mattress because when I got a mattress not that long ago, I tried purple mattresses. That's why I was thinking of that.
And I bought some heliotrope color clothing because I thought that would be fun to wear it around. like a Halloween outfit, because I have the little necklace with the symbol on it, and that'd be fun.
Oh, that's cool. Hey, whatever makes you have fun there. No, I mean that's cool. They have a necklace for this show, or you mean you made it?
Through Showtime, I bought one.
Cool. I read a thing today on Facebook. People were saying like about getting tattoos, and they were saying that the writer said not to get them as a tattoo, I guess, because it has some kind of bad meaning. People are like, if you get it or you wear it, it's because you like the show, not because it means what it means.
I think sometimes people get them, but they don't want it to end up being something they're not aligned with.
Yeah, I guess, but I kind of agree with what a lot
or
of
something stupid like it was like a mine, or was this some drawing the cabinet came up with, or just something that wasn't really that didn't mean anything.
Yeah, but I don't know. To me, it represents the show. If you want to get it because you like the show, then who cares? That's what it meant.
Yeah, it's cool looking.
Can mean different things to different people. I mean, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I saw that today, but I didn't know there were necklaces. That's kind of cool. But yeah, if it ends up like some demon worshiper thing, or I guess like I wouldn't want it as a tattoo, or if I had a necklace, I'd take it off if I found that out. I guess that is true. So,
I still
like naming a child Khaleesi. I haven't watched Game of Thrones, so I don't know like why that's a bad thing, but other than I know it's from that. But that's funny. It still was funny.
Well, at least you get picked on if you have hard to spell names.
I'm sorry, what?
No, I said this. People name their kids like crazy things, and then the kid has to go in therapy.
Yeah, definitely heard him for crazy names for things that they get from TV and that. So anyway, Callie says they should let her stay. She said because they have a family meeting, and Shauna says that she's dangerous, and she's like, didn't you just dismember your lover and you blackmailed her?
Exposition.
Yeah. Yes, that's kind of like if you didn't see the last seasons, but that was
if you weren't paying attention.
Yeah, if you weren't paying attention. I like that she says we had 5 datelines worth of problems.
Yeah, I know, that was a great line. Kelly had a great line there.
But they agree to let her stay for one night.
Because Kelly has a little bit of attraction to Lottie and vice versa.
Yeah, we don't know why, and it's probably not good, but I guess we'll find out.
Probably not, but I'm willing to watch it.
Yeah, me too. But she tells Shauna tells Lottie like not to fuck it up, and she tells her that she can stay for one night. And then we have okay, that's what she says. See, I don't go through the pictures and then I have the pictures, right?
Mhm.
And then when I didn't have them, I'm like looking for 'em. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's Van singing Virtual Insanity, which I meant to put up. I found I was looking at the lyrics for that one,
Mhm.
and it was
Who does that song?
um Jamiroquai
Okay.
original, but
Mhm.
some here where I'm trying to see what the hell the lyrics are. I had them up before because it was interesting when I looked at it. Like it says it's about eating too, because it says it's a wonder man can eat. I know it's not referencing that, but it made me think it's a wonder man can eat it all when things are big that should be small. Who can tell what magic spells will be doing for us? I don't know. It's kind of could reference some of that and
Mhm.
could work, but yeah. I was trying to look. It's kind of interesting. It made me think that it kind of
Van
fit.
having Van having a good time.
Yeah, I'm assuming that belongs to Sammy. I'm assuming
Probably. I
the
would guess, yeah.
karaoke thing. Yeah. But she tells her that she feels bad about last night, and she's like, the sex part? No, the dine and dash part. Um, and she said like she liked doing it, but she's like, I'm gonna go back and pay the server and tell him it's all your fault. Um, and then they start kissing because she says she could be wearing a wire, and they make out. And this is where you can see the glass. I was gonna say the kiss. You can tell, like you can totally see that glass there. I'm like, that glass is gonna break. Somebody's gonna get hurt. And
You really break a glass by stepping on it like that? I think it would just roll.
I think it would depend what kind of like if it's breakable glass or it's like, glass that's thicker. It would probably depend what kind of glass it is, I would think.
Mm.
But she ends up with a chunk of glass in her foot, and Ty pulls it out, and she says that she wants her to go to the doctor. It could get infected because of her being sick and that. And she gets really upset because she doesn't want her telling her what to do, and it's basically like it's not her business. And I get that Ty's upset, but she's also doesn't want her doing that. So she's like, fine, I'll go to urgent care. I'll do it myself. And Ty says, in the meanwhile, that she will go to the restaurant and take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Misty, who is hungover, and by the way, has bees on her pajamas.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Yellowjackets. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. His name must be Tattersall because he says this is the
Tattersall.
Tattersall oopsie daisy
Walter
tray.
Tattersall, yeah, okay.
Walter Tattersall, and I don't some kind of tonic to take away her
No, it's
hangover.
eggs over oopsie, boopsie bacon, and Lucky Daisy bottoms up tonic.
Okay, there you go. Um, yeah, I didn't write all that down.
Oh, I did because it
These
was
aren't
funny.
severance notes; they're shorter. But he
I
wants
thought
to
it was
talk.
funny.
No, it
awful.
was funny. So I'm glad you wrote it down. Yeah, it was funny. He wants to talk about what happened. He says that he thinks maybe the previous night was a cry for help. And that is when Shauna calls her on the phone, and he's like, oh, she's calling you back. And she's like, oh, no, she never acknowledged that I called. And this is when he says, the friends, they're only friends when they need something, and that they're never there for her. And he's totally 100% right. And then
I like that. I like that she pointed out though his commitment to cage maintenance.
yes, he's gonna clean this cage. And I don't know if it was a
Wednesday.
joke or anything, but he said Wednesday, and it made me think of
Oh,
Adam
it's totally
Sandler.
a joke.
Okay, because I
Wednesday.
took it as a joke. I'm like, maybe I'm putting too much into it, but yeah, he said Wednesday.
No, it's
and
definitely a Christina Ricci reference.
yeah,
A twofer because she was Wednesday Addams and she was also Wednesday.
yeah. Wait, she was what? She was Wednesday Adams and Wednesday.
She
What do
was
you mean she was?
Wednesday Addams and also on the show Wednesday. The show Wednesday.
Oh,
The one
okay,
with Jenna Ortega.
Yeah. I thought you were saying another character named Wednesday, and you confused me. Okay, yes.
No,
I
the
forgot she
show
was on that.
Wednesday.
Yeah, which, by the way, is a good show. That's coming back sometime soon.
It is.
So she says that he can't understand relationships that are formed in life and death experiences, and their bond runs deeper than worrying about who helped who. And she appreciates worrying, but
So
she's
petty.
overdue some time with them. Yeah. And he clearly thinks she's an idiot, but he's, putting up with it.
Mhm.
So
He
anyway,
just wants to belong so bad.
he
Poor
does. They
Misty.
both do, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
So back on where they're at, Natalie tells her that they're going to head south towards where the berries are
Yeah,
because that's where they
what she says before that, she's like, me and Travis were usually quiet when we were walking around out here.
Yeah, in other words, shut up,
Misty just
Misty.
keeps talking. She just keeps on
Yeah,
babbling about like different things.
she does. She does. And this is where she sees. She says about Coach Scott and Natalie, or Misty asks if she really thinks that he burned the cabin down and that he's dead, and she just says that he believed in her and would be proud of her, and that's where Natalie like lies and says he didn't know anything because they barely spoke. I think she's just trying to get her off the subject of Coach, so she doesn't realize she knows where he's at.
She's trying too hard. She just lies and she tries too hard to lie. She should just slightly lie. So Misty will believe
Yeah,
her.
she definitely overdoes it.
Yeah. And Misty mentioned Crystal in the scene, so good for Crystal.
Yeah,
Shout out.
Misty did mention Crystal. I'm not sure if you mean this live, Susie. I wasn't following the whole conversation in the chat. I apologize. I can't read that fast. I was trying to skip through it. But yes, Misty is not dumb. She is delusional. I would agree with that. But because she starts saying like, if me and Coach breaking up helped you with Travis.
I know,
And
it's funny. Them breaking
yeah,
up.
and then she sees what she knows is the coach's trap. She says like, "Oh yeah, you helped me so much." She's like, "Don't make fun of me." She's like, "I'm not." So that was kind of funny, yeah. But suddenly she's like, "We got to go the other way," and she's like, "But you said we had to go this way. There's berries," and she's like, "There's berries this way." Yes, thank you, Susie. She says everyone needs to like this live. I agree. Like and subscribe. It's very much appreciated. So I took that picture because it was cool.
Yeah,
I like that shot. It looked really good.
agreed.
So Mari is in the first pit. Whether it's the other pit, we don't know. I guess it's technically the second pit, but is in this pit. And she fixed her knee. Yeah, she has to put her knee back in place because I love how she's like upset, crying. And he's like, I can't do it for you. It's like he can't climb. I mean, he technically probably could climb down there, but yeah. Thank you, Susie. Susie wants everybody to like our show. So yay. Thank you, Susie.
Yeah, thanks, Susie.
We appreciate it. So anyway, she's like, there's berries the other way too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the first pit. That's the pit. Well, I thought maybe the pit from the pilot you guys would consider the first pit. So whatever, but she's in this pit. She fixes her knee. He says, I think he tells her to stay, and she says that something will eat her or come down. Again, another reference to her being eaten. That is the third reference. I'm telling you, they're going to eat her. He says that he doesn't believe that he burned down the cabin, and he's like, wait, what? He's like, it's burnt down? Did I miss something?
Yeah. She's like, you didn't smell the cabin? It was burning for 12 days.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's like,
I was too busy talking to myself in a corner, Mari.
Trying to stay away from her. I kind of have a theory maybe about that. We'll talk when we get there.
Okay.
I don't know that it makes sense, but I maybe have a theory about that.
Yeah.
Callie opens the door. What the hell? Oh, okay. This is the next scene. That's what that meant. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he's like, he tells her he'll come back. At that point, I think is when he says he tells her to stay there and be quiet. And then Callie opens the door to her house to Misty, and she's like, "Oh yeah, your mother invited me," because I think she was gonna like not let her in,
Yeah, it seems right.
Which was funny. But she lets her in, and I couldn't get a good shot of that. It looked awful no matter what I did. She's got a weird look on her face.
Yeah.
But she comes in and she sees Lottie's there, and she realizes that they invited her there to babysit Lottie and keep her away from Callie.
Yeah, but at first she thinks it's an intervention.
Yeah, for her drinking problem. Like she drank. I mean, it sounds like she didn't drink before. She went to a bar once because she wanted to
Hmm.
be like Natalie, and suddenly she thinks she has a drinking problem, or is worried she has a drinking problem.
Yeah.
So she thinks that Walter called them as an intervention, but then she realizes no, just gotta. She's just there to babysit her. But uh, Shauna's smart and says, "I trust you. That's why I called you."
Mm.
So that
Yeah,
was
Shauna's kind of like the worst for calling Misty to be a babysitter for Lottie.
yeah. Well, the other thing is she didn't call her first. She called Ty, who ignored the
Oh, she
phone.
called Ty.
Yeah, they said that. I think it was Ty earlier. Her phone rang and it was
It's
either Ty
funny.
or Van. I think it was Ty.
Yeah, really.
God, my headache is turning into a migraine. It is not going away.
Jeez, I'm sorry.
Um, that's okay. I'm just like, oh, I took Excedrin and it did not do shit. Anyway, she's like, I trust you. I needed you to do it. I owe you. So yeah, she's kind of sucking up to her, which I'm sure
Mhm.
Misty, swallows whole. She wants her to need her. So um yeah, Sean is kind of the worst. She doesn't really think of others as people the most
Mhm.
since forever though. Yeah, I mean she's getting her to do what she wants and is kind of using her. Uh
But they all kind of use Misty though.
they all use Misty. I mean, Misty makes it easy, not to be mean, but
Yeah.
sometimes
Mhm.
Misty deserves it sometimes. But I think that maybe Misty wouldn't be the way she was if people would treat her a little better, maybe.
Mhm.
Some of it at least. I don't know. And then Muncher Luncher is asking about Boyd since has not seen Yellowjackets. Yeah, what if he's in this forest? I don't think he's in their forest, but that would be a good surprise. I would enjoy a crossover event.
Let me tell you, when they were going towards what they called, like a Germany Ice and Fire called the Cannibal Village, I thought it was going
Yeah,
to be the Yellowjackets village.
it would be awesome if it was. I'm sure it's not, but it would be cool. And yes, Susie, you are right that she does use people as well, but she tries to be nice to him and be friends though. I think Misty just doesn't know how to act a lot of times.
Mhm. Hasn't
And
been properly socialized.
yeah, you're right. But that's because most people didn't want to talk to her and kind of
Yeah, or they made
avoided
fun of
her.
her.
She was yeah, she did not have a lot of friends growing up. Except when she was after the plane crash, which is why
Hmm.
she destroyed the black box. And
Yeah,
I'm
that's what I
glad
was
she
saying
didn't.
before about her and Jackie almost changing places. You know, because Jackie was the homecoming queen, but she had no skills in the wilderness, and Misty had all the skills.
And yeah, it's kind of the opposite. Okay, Susie meant, I'm sorry, Susie meant Shauna using everyone. Yeah, Shauna uses
Yeah.
everyone, but I mean Misty does some too to some extent, but yeah, like I said, she also tries to be friends with them. So I don't know, she does some, but um it's funny though because don't both From and Yellowjackets take place in the Canadian wilderness? They might both be filmed there.
Well,
I'm pretty
one
sure
because it
Yellowjackets
does,
filmed.
another one because they filmed there.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure Yellowjackets filmed. It looks. I know the one place seemed to be Vancouver. I'm
In
assuming that's
British
where it's at.
Columbia, yeah.
Yeah. Because the one hotel it seemed to me like was an X Files set. Pretty sure it
Hmm.
was when we were watching Yellowjackets. So yeah, she actually cares about them, but in a borderline histrionic sense. I mean, Misty, she wants friends, but she's a
Hmm.
sociopath. So
Yeah.
I mean, she totally is. Um, so anyway, she gets Misty to stay is the point.
Hmm.
And then they talk. I said about I don't know if that no, okay, I guess that was before. Somehow I got this out of order. Callie's looking at that tape. Again, I don't know how the hell she's gonna play it. Take it to
That's
a
probably what
library so
that's
they can
what
convert
she's
it.
probably thinking. I mean, first off, she's like, "What is this?" Because this is Gen Z.
Yeah, she
What is
probably
this
doesn't
thing?
hasn't seen it. Um, yeah, I don't know. To me, it looks like a high eight tape because I had a
Mm,
video recorder that was high eight that I used in
yeah,
when we went to California, and I
yeah.
still have the tapes that I have not converted most of.
But I mean, I was kind of referencing the season 2 thing that I didn't like when the guys came into Van's video store and they're like, these boxy things are movies.
Yeah, making all of us
This
feel
boxy
really,
thing's
really
a
old.
tape.
I'm surprised that she could make any money at a tape store because you can't even get a VCR now very easy. So it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
surprising.
Unless
I
it's
mean, like,
niche, like
oh,
she's
well,
in a
this is also the takes
college
place.
town or something.
I
Oh,
was going
sorry.
to say, though, isn't the present still in the past, or it's not now, right? Isn't it like so many years ago, or am I wrong? I'm trying to remember. I might be getting it mixed up.
No, she had the video store in the present time.
She did? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure how she could make any money with it. I mean, I know it was like a vintage thing. It's probably,
Yeah.
it's kind of like
I
having
mean,
a
if it
record
was like
store.
a niche store in a college town,
Yeah.
she'd be able to.
Yeah, true. I said it's like having a record store, I mean,
Yeah,
they don't
like,
really
yeah.
have records,
Well,
but it's
records are
kind of,
kind of big.
yeah, but I mean, it's hard to get a record player, I should say. Although I think it's
Mm.
easier to get a record player than it is to get a VCR at this point.
Yeah, I agree because of DJs.
Yeah.
DJs will own turntables.
True. So, anyway, she's looking at the tape when Lottie comes in. She thinks it's her parents first. Misty comes in too.
Mm-hmm.
Misty talks about her homework.
Wilderness parents.
Yeah. And then Misty's like, we should go alphabetize the pantry. It's like, okay, sure. So this is where Van and Ty are calling from Ari. And this is where as I said before, Van says piggy, piggy. And I still think it's referencing the other thing and that they're gonna eat her, but
Yeah.
And then yeah. And then Ty, okay, this is where Ty says basically that, like, if she is dead, Natalie's kind of screwed because she sent her, well, she didn't send her out, but she let her go out, and like it could end the same way, Jackie did, kind of, that she could end up something happening to her, and that would be very bad because she's supposed to be controlling everything. Because she wouldn't let them look for their coach either. And kept saying he did, like, instead of saying he didn't do it, she kept saying he was dead and pushing that narrative. But Van does say Natalie doesn't think he did it. And Ty's like, who could it have been? And Van asks she asked Van if she thinks she would have been a better leader than Natalie. And she says, maybe. And Van says that she has every confidence in her, but this place is messy and doesn't want to be governed. And then they hear screaming coming from a male voice, which ends up to be Travis, who's high again. And he's with Lottie. And he pushes her away and he tries to choke her. But before he does that, he says, 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. Now, I looked that up. I know if you're a teacher, right? Or you teach, or I forget what you said. Yeah, okay. I thought that. I'm like, did I make that up? Yeah, I thought you were a teacher. So I guess you use that like to get their attention. I read that it's used sometimes for that.
Oh yeah, okay. I never use it, but yeah, I could see.
No, I had never heard of it, but like to get them to pay attention. Well, I wondered though, it made me think, could that maybe be a reference to the guy without eyes?
Yeah, I think so too. I wrote it down. I was like, man, with no eyes.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down. Okay, Susie. I think it's just not home if she's using a bathroom, but okay. I'm not going to put that on the screen, but
Just
okay.
poop in the poop bucket, Susie.
Yeah, get the shit bucket, right?
It doesn't care if this girl poops or boy poops.
Yeah. Let's see. So anyway, he almost chokes her, and Ty tries to stop them from doing what they're doing. Okay. So Ty comes into the restaurant and she makes up a lie about forgetting to pay. And that woman's like, yeah, right. You forgot to pay. And she's like, my wife has cancer. Like that made it.
I know, it's horrible.
Like I mean, her girlfriend maybe has cancer, but still, that's not an excuse. But she's willing to pay extra, but she can't use cash. And I don't know if she doesn't want to use cash because of the credit card. Her wife would probably find out, I'm guessing. I don't know. They don't actually say. But she has to go figure out how to use the cash register to do it.
I don't think she wanted to be traced again because of her notoriety in politics by using a credit card.
Yeah. But at any rate, while she goes out, she picks up the matchbook from the place and she sees a picture of, I think I have that here, of their server, who clearly died, and the other woman tells her that he had a heart attack on the sidewalk, and she realizes what happened. And then while
But
this is not, sorry, go ahead.
oh yeah, because it seems like the hostess went to get another guy because maybe they wanted to talk to her about this, like she might have been involved in this.
Yeah. I didn't know if it was because they
Scandal.
wanted to talk to her about running out or what, but she
Mhm.
takes her credit card and leaves. She runs out.
Didn't get
Um,
involved. Enough
I
scandal
mean,
for her.
yeah, no, that's true. No scandal. I mean, it was kind of their fault, but at the same time, like, I mean, they didn't make him have a heart attack. They didn't mean for him to have a heart
Mhm.
attack.
It wasn't like they had witchy powers and they're like a heart attack for you.
Yeah, probably not. We hope not.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's Misty. She's alphabetizing the macaroni and cheese.
Mhm.
Uh,
Again, great Christina Ricci lines.
yeah.
Can I put it under M or N? Or there's other things with N in the middle, like N pasta. Should I put it under N?
Yeah, and she's like, put it under N.
She's so excited about it.
Yeah, she is. So this is where Lottie is. I don't know why I skipped to her, but Lottie's telling her that she realized that Nat's death was as it was intended, and it wasn't their fault. And she's like, I stabbed her with a syringe of fentanyl. It's like kind of is her fault, but she's like,
Yeah.
but she didn't do it on purpose, so it's okay. Yeah. And she's like, she's so doesn't know what's going on. And she says, we're offering what it wanted and it chose. And she's like, they let you out of the hospital. And she's like, yeah, they can't keep me from leaving just because they disagree with my faith. So that's what she said. And this is, I'm perfectly normal. If she has to say she's perfectly normal, I think that answers that question. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I'm trying Advil since clearly the Excedrin never did anything.
Oh, geez, I'm sorry to hear.
No, it's okay. I get headaches a lot. I have bad sinuses, and it's just it's not doing great. But anyway, so where was I at? So she finds allergy medicine in the cupboard and dog antibiotics from 2012.
So they had a dog. I wonder what kind of dog the family had.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the dog is hanging people up there. I mean, it's from 2012. They might have just never thrown the medicine away, probably.
What happened to the dog? I hope it wasn't like Biscuit.
Yeah, I hope not too, but I kind of doubt it.
Oh, now I think it's like Biscuit.
Yeah, I think the whole point was just because Callie took the dog antibiotics. But anyway, she's pissed at Lottie, and she couldn't believe that Shauna would allow her there. And then Callie comes in, and let's see, she wants to have a hangover. And she's like, we'll make rum milk punch.
A sleepover, not a hangover.
Or a sleepover.
Well, I mean, it's never my company sleepover.
Yeah, Misty has a hangover. They want to have a sleepover. Or at least that's what she's saying. But Misty is the one that is actually being the responsible one, which I think is hilarious because since when is Misty responsible? But she's like, I'm hungover and Lottie's hopefully medicated and you're 15.
Yeah. And she's like, what, are you 15?
Yeah, she's like, no, I'm 17. It's like, dude, that is still underage. Susie, nope. What person just has a giant stabby needle full of fentanyl? That is a good question. That is definitely a good question. But yeah, it is her fault what happened. I mean, she didn't mean to, but it was still her fault. But she wants to have like a sleepover, and Misty's never had one, so she's like, well, they agree to do it.
And then she says, rum milk punch, which I put rum milk punch, gross. I don't know. I've never had it, but it sounds gross.
That does sound gross. Yeah, I don't know. It does sound gross. Okay, so where to go? Okay, so she agrees. I also have written down she wants to play light as a feather, stiff as a board. I feel like there's some reference in there that has meaning, but I don't know what it is. I mean, I've played that before or could never really get it to work, but tried to play stuff like that in high school. I don't know.
I think it's just what kids do at sleepovers that she's heard. Like maybe if you had a stereotypical thing, this goes on a sleepover. I've never been to a sleepover.
I just wondered if it's like I don't know, like is representing something. I don't know. So Joel and Nathan, they have dinner with that he
The
wants them to buy
Joels.
furniture, the Joels, as she says. But he's
Yeah.
schmoozing with
Awful.
them.
I dated a guy named Joel once. Awful.
Was it Joel McHale? No. Sorry.
Oh, that Joel's great though. I love Joe McHale though.
Yeah,
I'm
that
torn
Joel's good.
now because it's kind of awful. But then Joe McHale, yeah, I looked for him in this whole episode.
Yeah, well, this is character Joel, so it's okay.
Yeah.
This is where he
Sorry, Joe
ordered.
McHale.
Yeah, this is where Jeff orders tapas, and the waitress is like, "All of them?" And Sean is like, "We'll start with ceviche."
All the time.
Yeah, so they start saying something about their friend Tyler being there, which is probably bullshit. They walk
they're
away.
awful.
Yeah, they are awful. He wants Shauna to get off the phone, but she's trying to call Misty to find out about Shauna, or to find out about her daughter, not about Shauna.
Did you
She gets
see what it said on her phone?
No, what did it say?
It said, if you need to lock Lottie in the bathroom, the door sometimes jams.
I did not see that. That is hilarious. I need to get that. I didn't see that. But she goes to the bathroom, and then meanwhile we get this scene with the three of them. Now, I don't know if the masks are meant to be sort of a reference to the
I love the panda.
Yeah, panda and a tiger. But it makes me wonder if it's like kind of a reference to, the pelts and stuff and the masks they have in the forest and all that. I don't know, but it's weird. It's funny.
Yes, it's funny.
It is fun. But
especially somebody kind of elegant like Lottie wearing one is pretty funny.
Yeah.
I thought Misty was wearing it because she just likes that cat motif.
Maybe, and that's the thing too. Is it like a facial mask? Like, what is it even for?
Yeah,
I've only ever seen them put like stuff in their face, not.
Yeah, it's like a face mask that probably helps with your pores, except it's cute because it looks like an animal.
I see.
Just for fun. It's for funsies.
Yeah,
for
but only the adults are using it, right?
Yeah.
But Callie wants to play Truth or Dare. And Misty's like, why would you want to play with boring adults? And she's like, your body count is too high to be boring, which is hilarious. Susie's trying to find the teal cat sweater. I don't know where you can find that sweatshirt. Sorry. But yeah, maybe you'll find it. I don't know. Honestly, it just made me think of Jade and I laughed, but that's just because we've been watching too much fun. So anyway, there's Fiona Apple's Criminal playing. Callie goes and gets more alcohol, and she's clearly putting the drugs in Misty's, and because she says she'll give her grenadine instead of more alcohol.
Grenadine disguised with some allergy meds. PM.
Yeah, I assume it's the animal medicine that's expired, but I guess it could be the
it's the allergy stuff. There's some allergy stuff that says PM, like NyQuil.
Okay, I knew there was both. I wasn't sure which she gave her because it showed both. And there's the
dog was antibiotics, so I don't know what they would do.
Well, I think they said they were like, if they were like from 2012, I figured maybe they'd make her sick because they were expired. But you're right, if it was like a NyQuil type thing, it would maybe work better. But at any rate, there is a Captain Jab instead of Captain Jack. Captain Jack, you know what I mean? Instead of Jack Daniels. I mean, Captain Morgan. No, that's it. Captain Morgan. Yeah. You're right. Captain Morgan. That's riff on that. And let's see. Callie wants to play Truth or Dare. She wants to know if they're really going to kill her mother. And Misty's like, no. And you notice that Lottie does not answer her, which I love. She's like, I love Lottie. She's like, we were going to offer it what it needed. Misty's trying to distract her. So she gives her a dare to chug her drink, which is when she knocks her out. And let's see. I think I like
that little hit after Misty passed out, and then Callie was like, "Truth or ... at the end of the scene.
Yeah.
To Lottie.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
She's got some good comic chops.
She does. I was just gonna say, she does here. She's like, why are you not worried? She got knocked out.
Yeah.
And they do ask why she did what she did with the guts, and she said because they were bullying her. And she says they said they survived by eating each other, and she wants to know if that's true. And Callie just says that she thinks that she's probably closest to understanding them from somebody who wasn't there, and it wasn't what people thought. So she doesn't say no. And then that's whenever Misty's knocked out. Then Ben has tied the rope around her hands and stuff. He knocks her over, and well, first he pulls her up on the ladder, then he knocks her down, and he ties the rope around her, puts her around her neck. I would like to know why he didn't just leave her in the damn hole. That would have been so much easier.
Yeah,
But
it's
then he
kind of
goes through all that.
complicated. Well, I guess if he wanted to kill her, he would just kill her in the fit.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't know. He wants to take her maybe so she quits screaming. It's easy, it's quieter. I don't know, but he gets her. He blindfolds her. And she's like, if you didn't burn the cabin down, what are you worried about? And he says, the truth wouldn't matter to that mob because you killed Nate Harvey. Then I'd be next. And he wants time to think, and then he blindfolds her. And then,
I never to get back to that scene, I never imagined a team up between Mari and Ben, like they would have scenes together.
Yeah. It's a different one. I agree. It's pretty cool. Hopefully, maybe something will come of it. We'll have to.
Yeah, maybe I'll give her mac and cheese and she'll just hang out with him.
Yep, maybe they'll end up working together. They definitely could.
Yeah.
So Ty ends up at the church service, and I'm not sure why I skipped that, but anyway, she ends up at the church, and she puts matches, the matches that she had from the restaurant. She puts in the candle at the altar. I'm not exactly sure what that was about, but I don't know if that was supposed to be like
right in front of Mary too, like
yeah, I don't know if that was supposed to be like equivalent to lighting a candle there. I don't know what that was about.
It's because she set the cabin on fire.
Yeah, maybe.
I thought it was just like an offering to like.
Yeah, maybe. That's why I said maybe it was like
antler,
lighting.
I put Summy, Mary, Antler, Goddess, Queen. You know, as you do.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought maybe it was like I said, like lighting a candle for somebody, but you would just light a candle. So I don't know. Susie says he only blindfolded her in case she escapes and tries to get everyone to kill him, but I think she's staying. Yeah, I don't know necessarily that he intends to kill her. He didn't intend to capture her. He thought he was going to get an animal at any rate, but we'll have to see what happens with that.
I think she's there now for the hot cocoa.
Yeah, now she's going to stay for the hot cocoa. And like somebody said earlier, that could be foreshadowing she's going to die as well because Jackie had hot chocolate before she died. So, so Shauna's trying to call Misty. Still, she won't pick up. So she goes into the bathroom and she hears somebody go into the stall next to her and sees their feet. And the person, she goes look under the door. They leave and they turn off the light when they leave. So it's dark. And she finds their phone in the other stall because the phone rings. Now, when she comes out too, she puts her keys in her hand like she's scared somebody's going to jump out at her, which stuff she's gone through, I don't blame her. But I just want to mention when this phone rings, did you know what the ringtone was?
It was Juice Newton's Queen of Hearts.
Yeah, that's quite a song for them to choose. Again, I think that it is Melissa that is stalking her, and I think maybe she's the one that's blackmailing her. Yeah, don't know, but so back to the Joels. Oh no, first we have. Why do I have a picture of that? I don't know. A bone mobile or something. Cool. Yeah, but it looks like a like when you have the I can't think of what it's called that are made out of shells.
Oh, like a mobile or something?
Yeah, not a mobile wasn't the right word, but yeah, kind of. That like hang outside that wind chime. That's what I was trying to think of. It looks like a wind chime.
Yeah.
Or maybe maybe it's so they know when somebody's coming. I don't know. But this is where I skipped the scene pictures of the scene with the Joels again, which is kind of weird because they ask her what happened. Like she goes and gives the phone to the bartender, right? And they want to know what happened, and they keep asking her what happened. Like, first of all, it's weird because she doesn't just say, "Oh, someone left the phone in the bathroom." She's like tries to not talk about it. But more than that, like, how can they not know what happened? Like, it was pretty obvious what happened. Why are they asking her what happened in the bathroom anyway? It's just really weird.
It's weird. Like they wanted more details about her time in the bathroom, which was bizarre.
It was very bizarre, but it's also bizarre to me why she didn't just say, "Oh, I found a phone," although that was pretty self-evident, but,
I do like the fact that she calls one of the Joels your painful little boner.
yeah. Well, that's the thing is he's trying to land this deal, but they're being really rude to him. So I almost kind of felt like she's sticking up for him. She's like, because they're talking shit to him and he's letting them do it. And she's like, no. She's like, you aren't self-made. It's like two self-made real estate men and one family, you painful little boner. You think I give a shit what you think about me? You do not exist. You do not deserve this furniture. But poor Jeff. I mean, Jeff wanted that deal.
Jeff was prepared to beg for it.
Yes, he was. And then meanwhile, this is where Keela gave, up in the picture here is where Keela gave Mortimer the duck to Travis to hold, and he's hugging the duck. He's upset.
He looks so sad with the duck.
He does. It's a cute picture, though. I like it.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Susie, I have no clue what you're talking about.
I don't know what
I'm not even going to ask. But anyway, so Lottie, he's upset that he tried to choke Lottie. And she's like, but you're connecting with the nature. That's what's important. And she tries to get him to drink more mushrooms. And she's like, you have to understand it. And then he's like, it actually told me that it didn't want me because someone here is closer because the animals like her. And I assume he meant Aquila. I don't know why I have a picture of Jen, but I assume he meant Aquila. I think he's totally just saying that to get Lottie to go away. Didn't you take it that way?
I wrote in my notes, is he throwing Aquila under the bus?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the bug.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I don't blame him because she won't go away. And she kind of like looks like, okay, cool, I'll go talk to her, So they come back. They didn't find Maury. Misty. This is about Misty. Misty
spills.
Yeah, Misty tells Shauna that Natalie knows where Coach Scott is, but she didn't tell anybody else. So Misty didn't believe her lies. And you could be right. Susie says that that's the pit girl. I mean, they're dark hair. It could be somebody with dark hair. That's all we know, really.
Yeah. And Shauna didn't even look impressed that she gave her that information. She was just,
Shauna didn't even want to listen to her until what she told her. She's like, don't tell anybody else. So I want to ask though about that really quick. Why do you think she's like, do you think she's going to go after him to kill him? I don't know.
Well, she has information people don't know that she could use against Nat. She doesn't like Nat. She's jealous of her because she got chosen as queen. It's ammunition.
It is, but the thing is, we know Nat survives. I'm wondering if she's going to go kill Coach, but it's not like they need somebody to eat now, so there's kind of no reason to.
Yeah, I don't think she'd go after Coach. She wants to go after Nat. She wants Nat's position.
Yeah, that's true. Susie says Maury is hanging girl. I guess that's the point, is there might be two different dead people in the first episode of the first season. There's pit girl and hanging girl.
They might get really hungry in wintertime. I thought it was the same girl.
I thought it was too, but she's right that the girl that was hanging didn't have holes in her like she fell in a pit.
Yeah, but I think that's continuity.
Yeah, it might have just been they didn't want to make her bloody as well. I don't know. Yeah. It's hard to know. But anyway, that's what happens there. And then they are in the house watching Repo Divorcees.
I wrote that down.
Yeah. Shauna comes in. Callie's braiding Lottie's hair. I see I don't have it. She's braiding Lottie's hair. And this to me made me think of the scene in the beginning of the first episode where where Ty is braiding Van's hair. I don't know if it's in reference to that or not, but that's what it was making me think of. And Misty is passed out at the table, and she's like, Misty. And then she throws up. And she's like, do you have a drinking problem? Poor Misty. That's hilarious. And then, poor Misty. Then Ty is setting the table, and she talks to Van. And this is where she says something like, you were in urgent care this whole time? And she's like, yeah, they just told me to put my leg up. Because she apologizes that she made, kept questioning her about it. And this is where she says, how was the restaurant? And Ty's like, oh, it was great. And then Dan's like, yes, it was urgent care. I think the point is they're both lying to each other. Now, whether she actually went to urgent care or not,
Yeah.
I don't know is even relevant. I think the point of it is that they're lying. They're both lying.
You said that she probably didn't go at all, and I said she went to urgent care, but went to an ER and maybe got some tests done and found out she didn't have cancer anymore.
That's a possibility. That would be interesting. I would like that to happen. But yeah, the idea of it is, regardless, I think that it's trying to say they're both lying, or both hiding. They're not telling everything. Is the point? And then let's see. Misty comes in drunk, and Walter is worried again. He's like, "You smell like coconut. Why do you smell like coconut?" She's just like, "Oh, we had a sleepover. We bonded." He's like, "You're drunker than last night. I can't believe Shauna let you drive." And she's like, "She's not the boss of me, and neither are you." Yeah. And he's like,
she also says it's 11 p.m. for a sleepover. It's only 11 p.m.
It's 11 p.m.
He says it's only 11 p.m. when she
says
11
p.m. Okay, yeah. She's drunk already. And he's like, what friend would have called you a ride? And then she's like, stop air quoting my friends.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite lines. I love that. He thinks she's on drugs. She gets all upset. She doesn't want him fussing over her. And this is where she says, you know, if you loving me means loving my friends. And again, that's where I'm like, I'm not sure that they're at the point they'd be talking about love, but if it's time has passed, maybe, I don't know. But he's like, I care about you. And she's like, you're doing it wrong. So, like you're being nice to her in the wrong way. So yeah. And Missy's convinced she has a drinking problem now. She drinks twice and she thinks she has a drinking problem, but I think you might be right. You're okay. Her Misty or Susie's favorite line is "I'll crotch your burn." That's her favorite line.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like the air quoting friends for whatever reason. But yeah, that's a good line too. And also the what's the thing about she'll set their dicks on fire or whatever? That was also good.
I like dicks on fire.
I like dicks on fire. I want a T-shirt. No, you can yell at that T-shirt. You wear that places, they might kick you out. But it would be a great T-shirt. I set dicks on fire, or I'll crotch your burn. Those would be good T-shirts. So anyway, she's upset he's hovering. So okay, let's see. She's upset. And I still feel bad for Walter, but this is to me where he seems very clingy. So I don't know. AA says Misty said to Walter in that moment about him doing too much was the same thing Natalie said to her last season, especially when Misty said, I didn't ask you to do all those things. That's an interesting thing to notice. You were right. Maybe she's finally getting what she deserves of learning how annoying she is. Just a bit. Yeah, interesting. And it's okay, DJ. I appreciate you at least coming. And like I always tell you, you can always stream it after if you missed part of it. So yes, people, if you missed the beginning, just later stream it and make sure you subscribe.
Like it more. Watch it more.
Like it
more watches. More likes.
Yep. Yes, please like and subscribe to all of it. And make sure you join our Discord as well, so you can join our watch parties and talk to other fans. And I need more people talking in my Discord, man. My Discord's too quiet, but we do have a lot of watch parties.
Go blow up our Discord.
What?
I said go blow up Jamie's Discord.
Yeah, come blow up my Discord. But yeah, the links in the chat. So yeah, and I lost where I was at. Okay. So back in the other place, Mari says that we didn't kill Javi. We ate him. We had to he saved us. We had to, but we're not doing that anymore because Tequila's been raising ducks and Jen's been hunting, and they're gonna come looking for me, and they're gonna tell me she's gonna tell them how you set a Silence of the Lambs trap in the woods and took me prisoner. Is that what you want? And he's just like, I'm starting to believe you did start the fire. Why is she saying all these things to him is going to piss him off? I don't know.
I don't know. I think she might be panicking.
Yes, I know, but it doesn't sound like a smart move. But instead, he gives her hot chocolate. I think he poisoned her. Personally, I don't think she's. Why would he poison her? He could have just killed her in the pit. Well, maybe he's gonna knock her out. I don't know. I think he either not is knocking her out or poisoned her, but that was my first thought.
I don't
But
think
she's
so. I think he's just
talking.
a nice guy. I think he's just a nice guy.
I hope he stays a nice guy, but she hears him talking to himself. Now, this is where I was going to
Well,
ask you.
I was gonna point out when she drinks it, it says moaning and slurping, which I love.
I didn't notice that, but I did want to ask you about this.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder if it's possible because they have it like he's talking to himself and it's going nuts. I wondered if it's possible he's actually talking to someone, but the only thing I could come up with is it possible that Crystal's not dead?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how Crystal could have survived that fall, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a TV show, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number
Yes.
two, her body disappeared.
Yep.
And number three, there may be some supernatural shit going on. So
Yep.
I kind of question, is it possible he's talking to Crystal? That's my kind of theory. I don't know.
I had his quote though. He's like, I can't think like this. Quiet. That's enough. Stop. And I said, could be talking to himself, talking to Crystal, talking to Javi's friend, or talking to other.
Yeah, who's Javi's friend?
Javi's friend.
Who's Javi's friend?
I don't know. Who's Javi's friend?
Was he talking to somebody before? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember Javi having a friend.
No, it was when he came back, he told Coach Ben, my friend told me not to come back here.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Javi's friend.
Okay.
But who knows who Javi's friend is? Some people think it's Dark Ty, but I don't know.
I don't know that it's dark. I don't see how she would have gotten there that quick, but I just wonder if
not in this scene. I just meant Javi's friend in general.
Oh, Javi's friend could be Dark Ty. Yeah, that's possible. But
he could be just babbling to himself.
He definitely could be, but I think it would be more interesting if he wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you're supposed to think he is. But could she have survived?
Or Cabin Daughter. That's another one, Cabin Daughter.
Cat, you think he has a daughter? Okay.
Cabin Daddy's daughter.
Or maybe it's a spirit of Cabin Daddy. Who knows?
Yeah.
A says, I think Coach is talking to Antler Queen like how Lottie thought she was talking to her therapist. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. These people have so many mental issues in the show. It's honestly hard to tell.
Who knows?
So, yeah, who knows? So Jeff is really upset about what happened.
He should be.
He should be. But, I find it kind of ironic because this is what is like the last straw that he gets so mad he walks out. But yet she murdered somebody. She cheated on him.
There's no big deal. I mean, it isn't like, his furniture.
No, I know. I just think it's funny because I don't know. Just because he put up with all the other stuff and he's like, no, you ruined this deal. So he's upset and he leaves. CZ said it's because of mercury and CO2 from an abandoned mind. Thinks that he's seeing things because of that, I guess, which is possible. And that's a good question. Where is the Cabin Daddy episode? They talked about it. It would be nice to see it.
Broke my heart.
Yeah. Maybe we eventually will. And AA, you're right. He could be talking to Paul. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I do hope he's actually talking to a real person because I think that would be more interesting because everybody thinks he's nuts.
Well, he had the whole second season thing when he was talking to Paul. That could be
that's
sense of anything else.
Yeah, they definitely implied that there's nobody he's talking to, which is why I think it could be somebody. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe he's talking to the bear. I don't know.
Hell.
Yeah, Joe McHale. Maybe. So okay. So Shauna calls the restaurant. And the song here is Far Behind by Candlebox or Candlebox by Far Behind. I think the name of the song was Far Behind. She calls the restaurant. And then meanwhile, Shauna is outside. There's flowers on the rock where she buried the baby. And again, I think she reburied it. I still think she might have moved the body. I'm not entirely sure if I'm right on that or not. But she's mad at Melissa for coming out. And she pulls out her knife.
For one way or another.
Yeah, one way or another.
Coming out.
Oh, yeah, true. So
I did not expect this ending at all. Did you expect?
Yeah, I know. I heard you say it.
I didn't expect this to happen.
Yeah. Well, in between, while this is going on, Shauna on the phone finds out. Well, no, first she says she wants to talk to the manager, and that's when she kind of says it quiet because she doesn't want her daughter to hear her saying that.
Mhm.
And yeah, Far Behind by Candlebox. Okay, thank you, DJ. Um, so yeah, she finds out after she talks to the manager that somebody found the phone, came to claim it, and she
Mhm.
wants to know who it was. And again, I think it's Melissa, and that's been following her in that. But she's pissed in the past because she was following her, and she's saying that people are scared of her. She followed her originally when she went in the woods because she thought they should keep an eye on each other. And that's when she's like, nobody has a right to my baby. And she's like, yeah, that's why I thought maybe she was rebearing it. But either way, she's we think that, or she thinks she's going to stab her, but instead she ends up kissing her. And then it goes back to the beginning. Yeah, that's the end. That was the last one. I don't know why I got one
That's
almost.
pretty hot. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I must have. Yeah, I must have.
I guess if you like edge play, it's pretty hot, Susie.
I don't know why I got a picture of them almost kissing instead of kissing, but she did kiss her.
Oh,
I was going fast for the cat pictures. Yeah, it wasn't intentional that I didn't get a kiss picture, but that's the last picture I have. I was running out of time when I was taking these.
It's just funny. It was just funny because a week ago on Faye Fire's podcast, I actually wrote in the chat because I mod there, and I wrote, it's really weird that they've gone this far without any of the other girls sexually experimenting with lesbianism or bisexuality, and then this happened.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. You told me you said that. I wasn't there. Yeah. Susie says, I prefer to make out with stalker chick after holding a knife to her throat, Shauna, than the talk to manager, Shauna. Yeah.
Would you rather? Like the game.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, look, as soon as they were that close and she was yelling at her like that, I maybe thought it was going to happen, but up until 30 seconds before it happened, I didn't expect it.
I didn't expect. That's cool.
But yeah, I think I definitely think that the person who's following her is Melissa.
Or is it Hillary Swank one?
It might be. I would guess that that's a good possibility, but I don't know. But we'll find out soon enough, I guess.
Yes.
But yeah. Well, I guess I was gonna say we probably can talk a couple more minutes, get till 2:00. It's almost 2.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
If anybody has anything else they want to add, let us know and we'll talk about it. But we'll talk about the opening credits next week when we only have one episode, so it's not as late.
2's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. So I was gonna say though, guys, make sure that you keep watch of the social medias that I have there, SciFi Vision, and of the community page on YouTube, because if we do try to figure out a different time, different day, something to put this show so we're not overlapping with everything, the time and date will show up there as it will in Discord. Again, please make sure you join Discord. We have watch parties for Yellowjackets Sunday night before we do this live stream. We have them Saturday night before me and Karen do our Severance live stream. Our Severance live stream is at 9 on Saturday. Or no, next week. I'm sorry. Usually it's at 9, but we're moving it to 10. These are all Eastern times. And then our other show's Tuesday at 10. But yeah, we do lots of watch parties. And like I said, more people need to talk in Discord. So please check that out. And also check out all our stuff on the YouTube channel, including our interview with Sydney, who plays Natalie on Severance. That's up under the live tab and under the playlist. I made a
very
playlist.
good interview.
Thank you. Appreciate it. As well as all of our From interviews are there. I don't know. Everybody's actually finding that video with Sydney. It's been recommended to people. I don't know if my YouTube's doing better or what, but it's got like over 3 times as many hits as any of the other. No, now almost 4 times as many hits as even our other interviews. So yeah. And I don't know if nobody has anything else. The only other thing I was going to
I was gonna
no, go ahead. Yeah, you promo your stuff. Go ahead.
Okay, I co-host on Julie B Deep Dives, and we will be having a Severance live, discussing the 5th episode that's called Trojan's Horse for Severance at 10:15 EST on Monday. On Wednesday, we will be having a From rewatch party in the YouTube. We will be discussing the first episode of the second season of From at 10 p.m. EST. On Thursdays, we have a separate watch party in Julie's Discord, and that's usually at 9 p.m. We show it twice, 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. And then on Fridays, we have From Academy with co-host Doc, and we will be doing a top.
Earlier.
What?
I said, who was in the chat earlier?
Who was in the chat earlier?
Yeah.
We did Jack Pigner last Friday. I guess it's Ladies' Choice this Friday, and we don't know right now what we're doing.
You made me remember too. We are going to have a Yellowjackets watch party as well when the episode first drops on Thursday night into Friday. I don't know if it's going to be 2 a.m. again or it's going to be 3 a.m.
Yeah, I checked at 1:30 and it was on, so who knows?
Yeah, I only knew it because you told me, but I'll schedule it for 2. I haven't scheduled those yet, but yeah, we will put it on when it drops live. We probably won't do Friday this week. This week we did 3 of them, but it was because people missed it and everything. But yeah, come watch the shows with us. I just recently found out about Discord these last, I don't know, handful of months, because I have not done a lot of Discord, and I'm enjoying these watch parties. So yeah, lots of watch parties, lots of streams. You can check it all out. The only other thing I was going to mention is some of the other stuff that we have coming for Sci-Fi Vision. Susie, I am trying to get Yellowjackets interviews. I'm assuming YV was supposed to be YJ, but YV. Yes, I'm trying to get Yellowjackets interviews. I'm trying to get Severance interviews. Severance may be a little closer right now than Yellowjackets because we hadn't done these shows and that, but we're trying. But also, I mean, if you go to scifivision.com, we have lots of other stuff that isn't anywhere related to the stuff we're talking about now. Like I have Deal or No Deal Island interview coming for who gets voted off this week, or not voted off, who leaves. I guess it's not voted off. I keep saying voted off, who gets kicked off. Might have more traders coming. Have stuff for Surface. Surface is a mystery show. All the cast from that. And then next week I will be doing 1923, which I'm not a Western person, as I was telling Scarlett. I have not watched it yet, but I'm going to watch that. But it's good people. It's Sebastian Roche. I don't know if you pronounce it Roche or Roche. I've wanted to talk to him for a long time. He's from Fringe and from Odyssey 5. So yeah, there's that stuff. There's lots of stuff like that. You can always find it at scifivision.com. Oh, and there's also a big, I'm going to have an audio interview of, why am I blanking? I'm like, what the hell was his name and why am I blanking? I tell you, I say this all the time, but the older I get, the dumber I get. My memory is going. Jacob Anderson. We talked about an interview with the vampire and Doctor Who, Game of Thrones, and all kinds of fun stuff. That's like a pretty long interview, but it was also for his new movie, Time Stalker, which is a comedy and pretty good. So yeah, that is all coming. So check all that stuff out, and there's always new stuff coming. Tag you in the Fringe interview. Well, it's not an actual Fringe interview, but he was in Fringe. But yeah, although there are, I got to fix my search. There are old Fringe interviews on the site. Speaking of, I also would love to get John Noble, who's going to be on Severance. Again, trying, probably won't happen, but trying for that. Because I did actually talk to him once back when Fringe was on a long time ago, but not recently. But yeah, so I guess that's it. So join us for all this stuff. Come to Discord. You can hear about.
And I was going to say the AAMM. I'll write down your idea for From Academy, because we might do that this week. Maybe the history of Fromville.
Oh, that
sounds like cool. A good topic.
Yeah, I want to hear that. That would be fun. I got to start listening to other streams. I'm bad. I never take time to listen to other streams. It's not intentional. I'm so busy. I never have time.
It's hard to have when you don't have much time.
Yeah, it is hard. Speaking of, if you're a fan of Yellowjackets and you have a YouTube show, we're looking to maybe collab with some people. So let us know. Susie, you can't remember your age. The older you get, the more you forget your age. I do that too. I'm always like, wait, how old am I? When you have to add your date to figure out how old you are. It means you're getting old when you're trying to figure it out. But yeah. So yeah, I guess the next thing is, like I said, our show on Tuesday. But hopefully I will see you guys in Discord before that talking. And we are almost at 2 a.m. I just wanted to try to at least bring it to the hour. So please like and subscribe, guys, and we will see you again next week. Just check the socials for the time. It might be a little different. But other than that, I guess that's about it. All righty. Yes. We need more people in the chat. I agree. Well, we have 27 in the chat. Everybody must not all be from.
Nice.
We have 2 people from NDB Media. That's our sister network. So check out their shows as well. There's a lot of good interviews, Counted Universe, NDB Media, all that fun stuff. All right, guys. Well, have a good night, and we will see you next week. Thank you for coming. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Good night.